Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome, everybody, to a Christmas Eve edition of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, along with G. Bush and Jason Lloyd. I'm Adam the Bull. We've got Anthony and Steve on the other side of the glass. We're talking quarterbacks. What else? Shaun King, a former quarterback, will be on with us. And one of my favorite segments all time, Ask the Show. The final 30-plus minutes of the show today, we have asked you for your questions that have nothing to do with sports. We are not answering Browns questions or Guardians questions or Cavs or anything else about sports and Ask the Show. It's non-sports questions, and we will try our best to give you an honest answer. Make them as wacky as you want, crazy as you want, whatever you want to do. That's coming up. Anthony's got a ton of questions already.
Come on, guys. We need some good ones. Be creative.
Let's go.
Don't
How many do you have now, Ant? How many you got?
I think I have somewhere around 15 tweets bookmarked, and we had 40-something responses on YouTube that I got.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good.
And some of these questions will be long answers, whatever. Breaking news, the Browns have signed offensive lineman Kendrick Green to the active roster off of Buffalo's practice squad. Are we excited about that?
Shout out to Kendrick Green, bro.
Kendrick Green, yeah. No,
Very
we're not.
excited.
Okay, one thing I wanted to hit on, this has stirred up a lot of controversy before we get into our sports topics. An incident that took place at Heinen's in Rocky River yesterday.
You're a bully.
I partially tweeted about this. I texted it to our chat group. Let me lay it out. So, as I'm sure most of you realize, the day before Christmas Eve, it's going to be crowded at the supermarket. We all understand.
We were out Christmas shopping yesterday. It was horrendous.
Why were you Christmas shopping the day before Christmas?
It was the only time I could take AJ. It's the only time he had time to go. So we went
do it online. What are you doing?
No, he wanted to go in the store and pick out
Did
something.
you go to Crocker?
We were at Crocker. We were at Avon Commons. It was
Crocker's awful.
It was brutal.
Yeah, at Avon
Anyway,
Commons.
I don't
Just
want to
awful.
derail you.
No,
Go
that's
ahead.
fine. So I'm in Heinen's. It's, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever it is. Packed. As packed as I've ever seen it at the Heinen's in Rocky River, right?
Yeah.
So I don't care. I'm not in a rush. What am I doing? I got nothing to do the rest of the day. I'm taking my time. Everybody else is losing their mind in there. I get my groceries, blah, blah, blah. I go up to the cashier area, and all the lines are fairly long. They're all like 3 or 4 people deep. And I'm like, all right, whatever. We'll hang out. So I get in line, and there's I think there were by the time this happened, there were 2 people ahead of me, maybe 3, but at least 2 people ahead of me. So I wasn't anywhere near the belt yet, the belt to put your groceries down. So I get on my phone for a sec, right? So I got my groceries. I get on my phone to take a look because, what am I doing? There's nothing going on right now. Nothing I can do. So I'm on my phone for a minute maybe. All of a sudden, I feel a cart bump my ass.
Underneath you.
And I assumed initially that it was an accident because the place was packed and everybody's all over the place. I turn around, and there's a woman standing there, an old woman. I mean, look, she looked very old.
Like, how old are we talking?
She was at least in her 70s.
Wrinkles on wrinkles?
Probably 80s. Like, maybe, I don't know.
Dang, she was still moving good?
She was by herself. She was pushing the cart. She wasn't in one of those carts where you sit in it and you know.
You was waiting for that. You was waiting for that. Excuse me, or I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Never.
So I turn around and I see her there, and she goes like this, like move up.
Move right on.
I love it.
And I just turned around. I said, "That's very rude." And that was it. I thought, right? So. Eventually, now, was there a little space for me to move up? Sure. Was I preventing myself from putting my groceries on? No. I still had to wait for people. So I moved up 3 feet. I'm still waiting there. So I don't know what she was hoping to accomplish by me moving up 3 feet. Okay. So then it's my turn. I'm on the belt, right? I always, unlike I'm sure this woman and most people, I always help bag. Right? I'm not going to just stand there like the king of Prussia.
Yeah.
Not while they bag my groceries. I help them bag.
I help bag when I take a lesson.
Right?
When
A lot
I
of
go
people
with
don't.
Alessia.
They just stand there.
Pressure definitely disappeared.
You like that pressure?
That was crazy.
So I'm packing, and as I'm doing that, there's still a couple of items that I had in my cart because the belt, is only a certain length, and I couldn't get them on. So I put them on, I grab my last item, and I go to put it in the back. And the woman is like almost on top of me now, and she's like, "Can't you just hand that to her?"
Jeez.
And that was it for me. I was so annoyed.
Did you flip?
I said, "Lady, just because you're old doesn't give you a right to be." I can't remember the exact. I said obnoxious
Did you
or
curse
rude
at her?
or whatever.
Did you call her?
Did you curse at her?
No, I didn't curse.
All right.
I did not curse at her.
All right.
I should have, but I did not. I said,
right.
it doesn't give you the right. But I said it loudly, and there were people who heard me say it. By the way, somebody tweeted at me and said that their friend was there when this happened and that I was 100% in the right.
You never know who's watching.
What's funny is I did feel a little bad, not for her, but only because it just so happened that the cashier and the bagger in my aisle were both old also. So, but the cashier seemed to be on my side. She's like, because I don't know. Anyway, so that's all I said. That was it. I packed my stuff. I went out. And that's when I, of course, tweeted about it. And I know, here's the thing. Just because you're old doesn't give you the right to be an ass. I'm sorry. That's not acceptable behavior.
Why do we accept it from Steve then?
What's that?
Why do we accept it from Steve then?
Fair point. You're taking strays, Steve.
Right? On Christmas Eve.
Man.
And you trying to just get to the crib. You just trying to get
everybody else is
Tyvis.
crazy in there. I was completely chill, which is unusual for me because usually I'm not chill. But I was very chill, and she was out of line. So now that you've heard the whole story,
Yeah, she tried you twice.
did I do anything wrong?
She tried you twice. First of all, she made physical contact with that.
Yes.
That's pass interference.
Yes.
And then we had to throw the challenge flag on her because she's gonna just tell you to hand your stuff over to that. There's a 2 feet of personal space, bro. I know that COVID and social distancing are over.
Yeah.
But
still don't get in my personal space.
It kind of permanently made me feel like you shouldn't be in nobody's airspace no more.
Exactly. 100% right. I am very respectful of the personal space of the people in front of me. I don't rush anybody. And by the way, that same old woman was probably paying with cash.
Oh, no.
Waiting for a
How
penny.
dare she?
Or writing a check.
Ooh.
You know how long that takes when you write a check at the supermarket?
She might-
At least 30 seconds.
These old people do it all the time.
She might have overwrote the check.
Yeah, exactly, for cash back. And by the way, another thing old people do at the supermarket, they're chit-chatting with the cashier, which I don't complain about. Okay? So don't bump me with your cart. I don't care if you're old.
When's the last time you wrote a check, out of curiosity?
I
guys
write
remember?
a check at a supermarket, never.
Just in general.
I have to write a check for, I believe it's the sewer bill, because you can't pay online.
I remember they used to.
That's my only
in
bill.
Lakewood. I used to live in Lakewood, and it was just like
you got to pay.
The sewer bill was like
you got to pay your sewer bill by. They send you a letter, in mail with the bill, and you got to send a check back.
We moved 4 years ago. Our checks still have the old address. That's how few times that we write checks.
But you don't if you have people working at the house, you don't pay by check sometime?
I try and Venmo everybody.
Yeah. Some people I got a couple of guys that independent guys that do work at my house.
Yeah,
they don't do Venmo.
Yeah,
or whatever.
maybe. I told my mom the other day, I'm like, "Ma, we got to get you up to 2012 and get you on Venmo."
I rarely write a check.
Yeah.
The only regular check I write is the sewer bill. That's it, because I don't know what the other option is. They don't give you any other option.
Black people's checks is now Cash App. That's what we do.
Yeah.
I'm not right. I don't even think I ever owned no book of checks. Remember back in the day, people used to have to keep their checks locked up because if they got lost, it was like, it was like just melt down fire.
Yeah.
I'm missing a couple of checks. Have you seen them?
I know.
People would be like, and then you used to be responsible for them checks too.
Right.
They're like, the cops will come to your door, sir. We see a couple of bad checks over at the grocery store.
Oh, this happened to you?
No, I'm just saying. I used to watch
happen.
people back in the day. Old people used to freak out. Just like when they had to pay the paper boy and they hadn't paid them in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the paper boy come collecting, trying to get that money. oh my gosh, I just thought no one knows.
I rarely pay cash anymore. There are some restaurants that will only take cash.
Yeah.
Though.
When I was young, like first place moving out, you had to I had to mail the rent check to Brooklyn. The people lived in Brooklyn.
That's funny.
And you'd mail the check, and like times were tight, man. And they wouldn't cash that check for a couple weeks, and then it would clear, and then it would bounce.
Everybody, listen.
Remember that?
Oh yeah. You'd be holding.
Where did this come from? Why did it take you 3 weeks to cash the check?
You like pay bills, and you'd be about to get paid, and you hope they
juggle it just right.
Just enough time.
Post-dated checks.
Yeah. Sadly, there's still a lot of people living that way.
I know.
Shit, bro. I was living that way 6 years ago. 5.5 years ago.
I've owned a checkbook.
What's that?
I think I've owned a checkbook, but I don't think I've ever used it.
That's funny.
I mean, I assume you have your own bank account.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if I ever Key Bank makes
checking.
you buy the checkbook.
You don't have now that you live it on your own, don't you have
Nah, it's all online.
Even the sewer bill?
I guess
that's
that's
just a
included
Rocky
in my
River
rent.
I don't write a check for it.
You live in a different county.
Yeah, no, Brooklyn, I just pay it through my rent, and then I pay my electrical and gas online.
Actually, be truthful, like Jason said, I don't never really see no money. Like
I never carry
my
cash,
wife,
ever.
like my after I got married, my wife just kind of like assimilated all of it. So I don't really ever have. I mean, I got a debit card and stuff where I can swipe it, but I couldn't tell you if where do you send this to or what.
I do like to tip in cash if I can.
Yeah.
Because this way they don't have to declare the tips. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really do it anyway, but.
I got a whole rant on why this country makes people like how is it that people depend on them tips to live.
It's unfortunate.
How you pay them $4 though?
I know, it's crazy.
I was at Paris Baguette on the way here. There's like a little thing there I like to grab it on the way in. They asked for a tip. I'm like, I picked it up myself. I brought it to you. I mean, I asked you to toast it. Am I supposed to tip you because I asked you to toast this thing?
I know.
I don't. I'm
but
not.
a restaurant is different.
Well, sure, of course. But the tipping is out of control.
Or if you,
I don't tip at Starbucks and do your job. Make the coffee.
Or if you order something and go pick it up, right? And it's just like, I came in, got in my car, paid you.
Yeah.
And
I used to fight it. Now it's like,
no.
When I go to the bagel store and they make a bagel and cream cheese for me, I give a tip.
You're soft.
That's crazy.
I like to take care of people.
Like DoorDash, yes. If you're bringing it to me, yes, I will tip you.
Yeah.
But this crap about at Panera, you handed me a cup. I'm supposed to tip you because you handed me a cup and I poured my own coffee?
And by the way, in terms of tipping on DoorDash or Uber Eats, I base my tip not based on how much the food is, but how much food there is and how far they have to drive.
You're going to set me off on a rant. We got to go.
Yeah.
The tipping system is so stupid that you can go to a fine steakhouse,
right?
Order a $60 steak and a $120 bottle of wine, and you have to leave this massive tip for somebody that really didn't do all that much, and go to Bob Evans. That poor woman's working her rear end off for $8.
Yes.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Bob. And then they got to cook it. They got to go back and set it up. They busting tables down. They trying to get the food out. And when you go to a good restaurant, they just look. They look at you and be like, "How many of y'all got with you? 7. Yeah. Oh heck, we about to get paid today.
My goal when I go to a restaurant is that my tip is so good that the person always remembers me, and then I get even better service the next time.
There you go.
That's the goal. Unless it's really terrible service, I'm an over tipper.
I typically take 10%, double it, and round up. Whatever that is.
The worst one I had was 2 Case Western students, $270 bill, 0 tip, Christmas Eve.
That's
doing what? I was bartending.
Oh man,
that's
bad.
That is awful.
This is a question. Do you believe that men tip based on the way the waitress looks?
Yes, 100%.
I don't.
Oh yeah,
I don't.
For sure.
That factor.
Do you think in general,
you don't think men in general?
I'm sure in general probably. I told you, I take 10%, double it, and round up every time.
For me, I actually find myself tipping people like if you're like a middle-aged woman or like a mom type, I'd be giving them all the money. Like I just feel like they just.
I'll tell you something else. Generally. Women are much better waiters than men. With almost, if you go to a high-end restaurant, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. All of them are good.
All the waiters are good there. But if it's not a high-end restaurant, women, in my experience, almost always, when I get a man at a non-high-end restaurant, I'm always like, oh, this guy's going to suck.
Real quick.
And they always do.
I did a great job, Bull, for what it's worth.
Well, my one summer in college when I was at Kent, one summer I served. I was a server.
Yeah.
I could say the restaurant, Houlihan's in Westlake there. I was at Houlihan's.
Go there all the time.
My first table ever, because you train with somebody else, right? My first table ever by myself, this is a true story. This woman came in with an oxygen tank. You talk about old. It was her and her husband, and they brought their own pops with them in a can. All they wanted was a glass of ice, and then they're going to order. I'm like, I don't know if this is legal, but whatever. And I'm like, man, I got this.
Yeah.
And I got the tray with the glass of ice, and I reach to hand him his glass, and her glass falls, and ice goes all over her. And she's like, I'm like, oh, my God, I'm going to kill her on my first day. I'm going to kill her. I was such a horrible server. I was horrible. I had ADD. Like, we didn't know what ADD was in 98.
No.
And I would walk up to the table like, listen, I'm just telling you, something was probably going to go horribly wrong. I'm very sorry in advance. Like, be patient with me. I'm not very good at this, but I'm going to do the best I can. And people would like it. It put them at ease, and it was so funny that like they were like, oh, well, all right. A couple times I did get complaints, but for the most part,
I was a server for many years when I was in my 20s.
Anybody I served in, I respect anybody that be serving. That's a different type of customer service, bro. It's a different type of. And by the way, everybody knows. Shout out to all the servers and the hospitality crew. There's a certain level of pain in your feet after you get done doing a double shift. And listen, when you get home and you take them hush puppies off, and you just want to sit there, like, shout out to everybody.
That was the worst. I remember last thing. I was for many years a waiter at Pizza Hut, if you can believe that, in my early 20s.
I know Pizza Hut had waiters.
Yeah, they did. We did back in the day. And eventually, I became a manager. Eyebrow stuff.
Listen, he shut the whole store
down. I was up to doing shady things. But when I was a waiter, man, I was one of those that didn't write the order down. Like, I would always just memorize it.
I've been amazed by people like that.
Yeah, I've never screwed it up. It's just that's just the type of weird memory I have. I can't remember, any teachers from any school grade anywhere except for one. But I can remember that. But I remember getting home and I would had my clothes, everything smelled like Pizza Hut. I wanted to vomit.
Yeah. Anthony.
Anyway, let's get to some sports.
The chat's being a little whiny today for the holidays. Let's talk some sports.
Steve is?
No. The chat is. They're being a little bit of whiners today. So
what
this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks.
Sorry, I accused Steve.
You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement of this sports season, whether you're following the NBA, NFL, or both. There's no better time to jump in on the action. If you haven't tried it yet, Prize Picks is the simplest way to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and if you get them right, you win. Takes less than 60 seconds to make your lineup, and you can play anywhere Prize Picks operates, including California, Texas, and Georgia. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
All right, guys. So
McNuggets sent this to me yesterday. So you know, this topic idea was not my idea. McNuggets, I think, is trying to get us all killed.
Yeah.
Here we
Spoke to him last night. So there was somebody put out odds on Tua's next team, right?
I got the odds right here. Okay, for you.
Go ahead. Put that up.
We'll box them. Browns are at plus 200. Jets are at plus 300, and Chiefs are at plus 400.
So the weird thing about the Browns, and by the way, he should go to the Chiefs. Go be a backup on the Chiefs for a little while.
That wouldn't be too bad.
I still think actually Tua could be a serviceable starter if he ever stayed healthy, but I don't think he will. However, the only way the Browns could end up with Tua next year is A, they made some sort of swap for Deshaun Watson, which would actually, believe it or not, I think be worse for the Browns because Tua, I think, has more left on his contract, I believe. Or if the obviously the Dolphins cut him, they can't trade for Tua unless they were trading Watson in the deal. That being said, do we think there's any chance Tua is on the Browns roster in 2026? Jason.
Better not be. Come on, what are we doing?
Blame Mikey McNuggets on this one.
What are we doing?
He must be bored because he texted me yesterday morning this topic. He's like, you should use this.
Tua? All right. So let's indulge a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the Browns are going to add a quarterback one way or another next year, are they not? Or does anybody? Let me ask you guys this: do we think there's any chance that the Browns' 3 quarterbacks next year will be Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, and Deshaun Watson?
No.
I agree. Do you think there's I bet G thinks there's a chance that it's those three. Do you?
I think there's a pretty good chance. I would say 60% that
you think there's a 60% chance it's those three guys?
Well,
okay.
Well, here's the thing. If they told me, they kind of already said Watson's going to be on the roster, right?
I don't believe that that's definitely set in stone. I don't believe. If
that's the messaging they're putting out.
If Andrew Berry is still the GM, then Deshaun Watson will probably still be here.
Yes.
If the Browns fire Andrew Berry, which they obviously should, and if they fire Kevin Stefanski, which they obviously should, if I were a new GM of this team, I would absolutely demand that they cut Deshaun Watson, or I'm not taking the job. There's no way I would accept Watson being on the roster. I think the Browns are way better off just taking the cap hit and moving on.
I totally agree.
If I'm a new coach and GM, even though the cap hit for next year, right? Like to me, I'm moving on. No interest in Deshaun Watson being here.
I view the Browns inside. I view that they don't. I think they've already worked. They don't view him as an issue. Like if he was like kind of a person who was doing a bunch of stuff or doing a bunch of extra, or as a guy that was demanding for him to start, like. He's kind of out of sight, out of mind. Like it's not like I don't even hear many stories about him. I don't think he.
But what is the point of having him on the roster?
So that they don't have to take a cap hit.
But so what? You got to. What's the difference if you have it all in 1 year or you split it up? Like at this point, the cap's going to be $300 million. The Browns are probably not going to be good next year anyway. Just take the hit and get it over with.
So I always think about it like this.
Yeah.
If they're viewing it, what's the worst? Like if they view him as a person who's not doing anything, he's on the roster. The money ain't that big of a deal. They trying to get it out of there, and we're trying to have the most operating capital.
Yeah.
Why would they feel a necessity?
Because it was a mistake. It was a mistake.
The owner said it.
And good teams pivot off of mistakes.
That's right.
And the Browns cling to them. If I was the new GM, I'd sweep out.
Look what the Broncos did.
If I was the new GM, I'd sweep out the entire quarterback room. Start completely over.
See, I think it's, to me, if I'm going to draft a quarterback in the top 5, and if the Browns are picking top 2, they probably will draft a quarterback. If they do, I would consider keeping Dylan Gabriel as the third quarterback.
The only way Dylan's here probably is if Kevin's here, and Kevin's not going to be here. Why would you bring back, what did Dylan show?
Nothing.
So why would you keep him?
But you don't need a third quarterback. He's the third quarterback.
I mean, fine, I guess, maybe.
If you draft a quarterback high, you have to cut Watson and you trade Shedeur Sanders.
Well, you don't have to.
If you don't, that's what I'm saying. What I do.
Yeah.
If I decide that I'm not going to go with these quarterbacks, I'm going to give Shedeur another chance or whatever, then I would stick with Shedeur. I'd still cut Watson. I'd bring in a different veteran to back up Shedeur, whatever. But if I'm going to draft a quarterback in the top of the first round, I'm getting rid of all the quarterbacks here. Again, maybe keeping Gabriel's a third, not because I think he's any good, just because this way I don't have to add 2 more quarterbacks.
The way I would look at it is, first of all, if I'm assuming that Andrew Berry is here, Andrew Berry had a role in all of these guys being here, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So if I'm looking at it like this, I'm like, all right, well, I got Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel ain't he's not a starting quarterback or nothing, but is he good enough to be a third quarterback? Sure. Is he good enough for a guy to come in and take some snaps and understand, where to throw the ball? He just has limitations based on his size. We've all known that.
Think he'd want to be here? I don't think he'd want to be here either.
I wouldn't if I was him.
Yeah.
The way he was treated this year, why would he want to be here?
Here's why I would want to be here, because it's a job. If Dylan Gabriel, you got to think about it.
Nobody else might want him.
If nobody else wants him, yeah.
The Browns would have to cut Dylan Gabriel.
Honestly, I think Dylan Gabriel will be a really good offensive coordinator in 6 years, 7 years. I don't mean that. I don't mean that disrespectfully.
No,
yeah.
I don't mean that as a slight. I'm serious. I think he would be a really good offensive coordinator.
He doesn't have the talent to be a quarterback in the NFL.
Kellen Moore, some of these other dudes, Jason Garrett. Usually, generally speaking, guys who play quarterback that have limitations could be good minds, right?
Yeah.
My thing is, look, Dylan, here's why I would keep. Dylan Gabriel ain't going to give you no problems. He's going to come in and do his job. You used to pick on him a third round. I'm not going to waste a third round pick.
They already did.
What I'm saying, I could get something out of him. I'm not going to just trade him because I just feel he's not. If it's between him and Bailey Zappi and I invested a draft pick in the third round on him, I'm taking Dylan Gabriel. I'm just going by assets, right?
Well, you're assuming Berry's going to keep his job. I just don't understand how that's possible.
It's the Browns. Anything's possible.
If the Browns keep Andrew Berry, I mean, I just. What are we doing here?
I'm just telling you about what the reporting said.
He's been here 6 years. The franchise is in way worse shape than it was when he got here.
I'm telling you what the report. Like, if
I know, but I'm assuming either he's wrong or Jimmy's going to change his mind.
I don't.
Not everything Ian Rappaport says ends up being correct.
Well, look, I'm just going by the tea leaves, man. I'm just reading it. Like, look, he looks like, to me, the last person standing.
That's insane. That's literally insane. How do I trust him on quarterbacks when he took Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round?
I mean,
they have zero talent, close to zero talent on offense. Zero.
You know where I stand on this.
Yeah.
His name was on the Deshaun trade. Like, he's the GM of the Deshaun trade.
To me, this is a no-brainer. Everybody's got to go. It's 6 years. The franchise is in as bad a shape as it's ever been right now.
Well, you got to look at it like this, man. It's Jimmy Haslam.
Yeah.
Right? I told you this is Game of Thrones. We've been talking about this for 3 whole years. Who has Jimmy's ear? At first it was DePodesta. Evidently he don't got it no more. He's gone. Kevin Stefanski, I believe, had his ear for a long period of time because he had the most dividends. He had the 2 Coach of the Years, right? He looked like he was in charge. He looked like he was doing what he wanted to. He said, I want Dylan Gabriel. We
don't know that he said that.
I mean, all accounts are that was his guy.
Yeah. So we believe Kevin Stefanski overruled Andrew Berry to draft Dylan Gabriel? We're gonna blame Stefanski. We can't just blame Stefanski for all the bad things and give Andrew Berry credit for 3 decent draft picks.
No, I ain't giving him credit for nothing. I just said it was well known that in those buildings he liked Dylan Gabriel. That was his guy. He met with Dylan and he said he was.
I'm blaming everybody. To me, trying to parse who's to blame between the two, I don't want. To me, there's no argument for keeping either of them in my mind.
Well, look here. We can say what we want. The one thing that happens when you talk about it is what have you done for me lately? When you look at the draft choices, obviously Kevin Stefanski or Andrew Berry were at the hip. We talked about that for a long period of time, and then between this year. Along the line, when they traded Joe Flacco, and when they moved him, I said, "Oh no, they're not on the same page because Kevin Stefanski would have never moved Joe Flacco ever."
So you think Barry should keep his job?
I already told you, I wouldn't have a problem if all of them was gone. I wouldn't have no problem with it, but I can see where the owner says, "Okay, I'm going to keep Andrew Berry because of X, Y, and Z."
What are the X, Y, and Z?
The X, Y, and Z are the guys he drafted this year.
I know, but the only
So then how come Kevin doesn't get credit for drafting those guys if they're attached to
Well, here's the thing. If he's talking about the difference between the players and what's going on, the problem with Kevin Stefanski is Kevin Stefanski was in charge of the offense. The offense is not good.
Because there's no talent.
That's the excuse for Shador, but it's not a good excuse for Kevin. It works for Shador, but not for Kevin. These are the rules of the game.
No, well, here's the thing. They wasn't just not good with Shador. They was not good last year.
That's true. So that's the talent.
Andrew Berry's name was on the trade of the worst trade in NFL history, and they're going to fire the fireman who couldn't put out the flames.
It's the second worst trade in history, but
it's the worst.
But
they're letting the arsonist walk, and they're firing the guy who couldn't put out the flames. The whole reason the franchise and the offense is in the position they're in is because of the Deshaun trade. There's no debating that.
Do you agree that when they all said that about the Deshaun Watson trade, do you agree that each and every one of them said everybody was in lockstep with that decision? They were on record saying
I'm sure they were.
That's the position they're taking, so that's the position we're going to hold them to.
Yeah, right.
But somebody had to bring it to them first. Somebody had to come up with the idea. Who came up with the idea?
Yeah.
I can only go by what they told me. When DePodesta was in Colorado and they said who picked him, was that you? He said it was an organizational decision.
Okay, so then everybody takes the blame for it.
So somebody got to take some blame for it.
Andrew Berry, to me, doesn't keep his job because of Carson Schlesinger and Harold Fannin. All right, we've made a big deal about this draft. He drafted Mason Graham in the top 5. How good is Mason Graham?
Serviceable. He's good.
You better get more than serviceable for top 5.
You drafted him top 5. You better be a Pro Bowler minimum.
If you get
especially at that,
he's nowhere close to that right now.
Listen, you're not gonna get me to say that Andrew Berry's classes prior to this one have been great. I've been telling you about.
I'm not even ready to say this one's great yet.
Well, listen, if you got Harold Fannin, who broke the rookie record and receiving record as a tight end, that's pretty good.
The Browns record.
He's a Pro Bowl alternate. He's a rookie.
Yeah, Fannin and Schlesinger are great picks.
I mean, Schlesinger's
I still like Judkins. I still
like Judkins too, but like. Okay, you got a linebacker, a running back, and a tight end. What else you got?
That stands for something, right? I'm just giving you what. Listen, I'm telling you.
We don't have a single offensive lineman. Is that true?
Of course you don't.
We don't know if we have a quarterback.
You missed on Jed Wills.
Yeah. I mean, what?
Can I ask a question?
If you look at his track record, good versus bad, there's way more bad than good. We wasted a second-round pick on Mike Hall. We wasted a second-round pick on Elijah Moore.
Yep.
They traded a second round pick for Elijah Moore and a third round pick.
Yep.
So you dropped 30 spots in the draft to get Elijah Moore, a useless NFL player.
Hey, go
Mike Hall, no good.
Go there. You're not going to listen.
So I can't.
His track record for drafting receivers and linemen is always on display.
And by the way,
guess what? I was talking about this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm not sitting up here pounding the concrete for his track record.
I don't think,
I'm just saying what the ownership is looking at.
Real quick. Moving forward, it boils down to: do you trust him with whatever picks we get?
Zero.
Next
No.
year,
not
the
at
year
all.
after that,
No.
or move on.
No.
So,
You?
Is there any reason to keep him if you don't trust him?
I think when you look at this draft, it's going to be pivotal. Because if they do keep him, like I said yesterday, if they do keep him, whatever they draft this next year is going to be the referendum on what he is. Next year, he's gonna have to have another hit, and on top of that, he's gonna have to have a massive jump in wins.
Which is gonna be hard when you're not sure you have a quarterback, you have no offensive line, you have no wide receiver.
That's part of the game, though.
Yeah. Well,
and now here we go. They take a quarterback.
Yeah.
And then you fire the GM, and now round and round we go.
Right. And then that
There
new
you
GM,
go.
he didn't really like that quarterback.
That wasn't my guy. And that's how you wind up.
There we go.
Which is why I said weeks ago, if you're on the fence, get rid of him now.
What's happened here? I think everybody rationally knows that Barry, to me, and I know been a Stefanski supporter, but you understand that he needs to be fired. I think at this point,
I think everybody needs to separate.
But I think what's happening here is the Shadorians have convinced themselves that Andrew Berry is a Shadorian too, with no facts to back that up, in my opinion. Like that somehow Andrew Berry liked Shador when nobody else in the organization did. I don't buy that for a minute.
No, I think what people are pointing at is when you look at Andrew Berry. So if you look at Shador Sanders was fourth on the depth chart, right?
Yeah.
The general manager traded Kenny Pickett, who was getting all the first team reps. Okay.
Well, he was hurt.
But I'm just saying. But what I'm saying though is,
the general manager also signed Kenny Pickett.
But I know. But what I'm saying though is, why would you trade the dude he was the guy that was getting most reps, and he only had a hamstring injury? It wasn't like he tore his knee up. He got a 5th round pick for him. So we like, okay, why did you trade him? Yeah. Okay, he left. Dylan Gabriel was then a backup. Then Joe Flacco was the guy. After 4 games, you decided that Joe Flacco was like done.
Well, they benched him.
So they benched him after 4 games, and we talked about how the offense was. So they got rid of Flacco.
Right.
So we're like, okay. They brought Dylan Gabriel in, right?
Right.
Dylan Gabriel was supposed to be the starter. Kevin Stefanski came out and said if he passes concussion protocol, he was going to be the starter. Right. He didn't pass concussion protocol, right? So they started Shador.
Yeah.
So if the general manager has moved all of these people, he's moved the 2 quarterbacks prior to him.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel, the coach said he was going to be the starter if he passed concussion protocol. Obviously, that's his guy. And all of a sudden, Shador comes in and plays, and then they make the decision he's the quarterback for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Why
does that mean that the GM liked him anymore? I don't see any facts that back that up.
Because Kevin Stefanski did not know that they were trading Joe Flacco.
Well, how do we know that?
It was in a press conference. They talked about it. He said, "Did you know, Joe? Did you know what was going on with that?"
He said he trusts Barry with that decision.
Okay. So that doesn't mean he was against it.
So do you believe
that's the GM's job?
But do you believe
they had benched him anyway? G.
Do you believe?
Yeah.
That Kevin Stefanski would have wanted Joe Flacco to be traded from the get-go?
Probably not. If you're a coach, you'd rather have
the veteran,
a veteran backup.
Yes,
but that doesn't mean that Andrew Berry liked Shedeur Sanders anymore. Because he wasn't going to play. If he loved him that much, he could, and he had all this power. Why didn't he force Kevin Stefanski to play him?
I mean, they slightly did.
But let me ask you this: if Andrew Berry does stay at GM and he drafts a quarterback in the first round, then all this narrative about Berry liking him is out the window. It's gone. It was all baloney.
But I don't. Nobody get no credit points for the narrative about Berry liking Shedeur Sanders. That don't move nothing. Because at the end of the day, it's just about the evaluation of whether or not they're going to play Shedeur Sanders or go in another direction. You don't get extra credit points for the Browns as an organization. They drafted all of them. Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson. There's no separation. Nobody gets extra credit points. They all drafted a quarterback. It's up to them to decide what they're going to do with it. I don't understand why that's
I just think Andrew Berry's the GM. If you look at his track record of what they've done in terms of adding and subtracting players, the negative outweighs the positive by as much as it can. There's 10 bad moves he's made for every one good move he made.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I can say the same thing about the coach. I don't care that he won Coach of the Year a few years ago. He's won 6 games the last 2 years. His clock management is terrible. The offense has played better when he's not been the play caller. His in-game management is terrible. To me, it's a complete joke to keep either of them at this point. And that doesn't mean that somewhere along the line, Andrew Berry couldn't do a good job as GM somewhere else, or Kevin Stefanski couldn't do a good job as head coach somewhere else. People learn, people grow. I'm not saying they will be. I'm not convinced either one will be great at their job somewhere else. But maybe they will be. But I don't care. To me, if you're the Browns, there is zero argument for keeping either of these guys. And to make it, well, this draft was so great. Let's slow our roll a little bit. We got 2 guys that are definitely excellent in Schlesinger and Fannin. I think we all like Judkins and think he's going to be good. But he wasn't great this year. And the first-round pick is a nice player, but we don't know how good he is. And if he's not a star, that was a terrible pick.
Hey, I'm just telling you what the tea leaves look like to me. It looks like Andrew Berry will be the last man standing.
We'll see. I guess we'll find out. All right, Anthony, go ahead.
All right, guys, we're going to move on and do some just general NFL talk. Get away from the Browns for a little bit. But experience Cleveland Charge basketball at Public Hall this season. The Cleveland Charge, the NBA G League affiliate for the Cavaliers, are back in action for their 5th season in Cleveland. Charge alumni like Dean Wade and Sam Merrill and two-way players like Naquan Tomlin and Luke Travers show the NBA G League is the home for future stars of the NBA. You can join the Charge for Backyard Basketball Night presented by True North Convenience Stores on Saturday, December 27th at 7. The Charge will take the court as the Mighty Melonheads, and the first 1,500 fans will receive a Pablo Sanchez bobblehead.
Pablo.
Tickets are on sale now at clevelandcharge.com.
We actually spent 30 seconds on Tua and then 19 and a half minutes on
I forgot where
that's fine.
That's all
I forgot where that went. I was like, hold on, why did the Tua thing go?
Nobody wants Tua.
That was 27 seconds too long.
Nobody wants to.
Make sure
8% of the chat said
No.
yes.
Make sure you change that thumbnail to the Andrew Berry conversation.
Yeah.
I'll update it later.
By the way, I think that's the first time that conversation has been had since we talked about the news broke, right? Whether or not it's guaranteed. So,
all right, let's get to this next topic, which is the unpredictability. This is what makes the NFL great, generally. Sadly, the Browns have not taken it. It's crazy. In a sport that more than any other sport is designed for everybody to be near 500, for there to be balance, for there to be up and down, that the Browns are consistently on the bottom. In the easiest sport not to be. Like in baseball and basketball, where the Cleveland teams have been pretty good considering market size. Considering market size. Thank you. The Guardians and Cavs, like I would say, are above the curve considering market size, even though it means less in the NBA, over the last, we'll say since 99. If you go with the Indians since 95, I got to sneeze again.
Bless you.
Sorry.
Live TV integrated.
But then you have the Browns, who in the sport more than any other sport is designed for people to be even, have not won the division.
Since 89.
Since 89. Have barely been to the playoffs since then. It's crazy, especially considering they're spending more money than any team in the league.
In history.
In the history of the NFL, the Browns are spending more money. And some fans are still conned into believing that Jimmy Haslam's a good owner. And I saw my man Xavier P. write today that the Browns have the best available job because
Absolutely
the owner will spend.
Absolutely not true.
Well, most people don't believe.
What NFL owners don't spend? Most of them do.
All right, wait a minute. This was not supposed to be a Browns.
Sorry.
Let me clarify. Jimmy goes out of his way to restructure contracts and do things differently in a way that few other owners will.
Yeah.
For the most part, all NFL salaries are right around.
That is the one thing I would give Jimmy credit for is he is willing to do more. Fine. But he gets credit for nothing else. Everything else he does is terrible. Okay, and you're right. Almost every owner spends. All right, now let's get to the topic of the fact that the league this year is even more topsy-turvy than ever, right? You have the Chiefs out of it.
That's unbelievable to me.
The Ravens
just
out
that
of it.
alone.
Oh, the Ravens are not eliminated yet, but they're probably not going to the playoffs.
Just the Chiefs being out of it alone.
Completely out of it, right? Ravens out of it.
Yeah.
Lions might not make the playoffs. No Joe Burrow in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like you have
the
a
Bears
lot
are
of
going to win their division.
What's that?
The Bears are looking like they're going to win the division.
Yeah,
or if they
that's not as crazy as any of these other things, but okay, yeah. I mean, the Bears are very well on their way to win the division. The Jaguars having a great season. The Panthers having a good season. The who else? Is there somebody else in the AFC?
Patriots?
The Patriots.
Broncos.
I think we all expect the Patriots to be better, but not this good.
Yeah.
The Broncos certainly have taken. I thought they would regress this year after that season. They didn't.
I did too.
It has been a crazy of all these storylines. The teams that have disappointed, teams that have. What's to you the craziest storyline?
Man, it's kind of terrible. I'm just like, so the way I think of it, guys, is I don't never see it as crazy storylines. Like, because the way I look at the NFL is like, I used to always talk to my dad, and he always used to be like, man, if you want to lose your money, bet on the NFL. Like to me, every week I watch a game, I don't never go into no game saying that this team going to blow this team out. I literally, like, I can't even touch no FanDuel because when I be looking at these teams, it comes down to you can watch a game and you can see somebody make a play and you say, that's where the game turned right there.
Yeah.
It's about 3 to 4 plays that dictate between here and there. And I think Jimmy Johnson said the NFL stands for not for long.
Yep.
And the greatest thing about the NFL is it ain't that big of a difference between the really, really, really bad teams and the really good ones. Take a look just last week between the Bills and the Browns. Like, the Bills obviously have a way better team. They got a franchise quarterback, but a couple of plays here or there, and it's a 23-20 game. So for me, I understand that it's not predictable, and then you throw in injuries, like throw in like Lamar Jackson being hampered the whole year, Joe Burrow being hampered, Patrick Mahomes being banged up. If you get one of them dudes, their offenses are built around those people, right?
That's right.
And if those people go out, you might as well chalk it up. So
yeah, I mean, without Mahomes, the Chiefs are like one of the worst teams in the league. They were obviously weren't even playing that well with him this year.
To me, the biggest one, and I don't kind of understand it, is I still watch the Cowboys all the time, and I just don't understand, given what the Cowboys be having, why they be taking L's like that.
Yeah, I mean,
they seemingly got decent offensive line.
They got a good offense.
They got a good offense. They
good
got
quarterback,
Prescott,
good playmaker receiver.
Good playmakers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I look up, I'm like, how you got 5?
Yeah, it is
5
crazy.
wins, man.
I think that you're right about the unpredictability of football this year more than ever. To me, the craziest thing, and of course it negatively affects the Browns.
The Jaguars.
Is the Jaguars.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody, even when they were off to a good start, you were still like, it's the Jaguars. What are they? Are they the top seed in the AFC right now? Second?
I'll confirm their position, but I think so.
And it has nothing to do with the trade. It has nothing to do with the trade.
Zero.
Travis Hunter hurt.
He got hurt.
Brian-
He's a non-factor.
Brian Thomas not doing nothing.
Yeah.
They got these Minimowski dudes out here.
They traded for Jacoby Myers, who's been great. They extended him.
And he's been balling.
And they've been running the ball. Trevor Lawrence has been fantastic.
He's played very well, finally.
I'm saying
third in the AFC Bowl.
What's that?
Third right now.
Oh,
in the
who's
AFC.
second?
Patriots, and then Broncos are in first.
Oh, right. I forgot about.
But they had it every other year. Remember they came back and beat the Chargers in that playoff game, and then played the Chiefs really well.
I think Baker and Trevor Lawrence are on a seesaw, and they take turns. One of them's good for a little while, the other one sucks.
Yeah, but I think this is probably the best Trevor's been, right? Is that fair?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. He's playing, you're right. He's playing his best football right now, and
maybe he found a system that fits. He's been through so many coaches and coordinators.
Hey, look, that Liam Cohen, as much as he's a weirdo, remember his press conference to Duval? That was so creepy.
Yeah.
Baker had his best year with him last year.
Yeah.
And now Trevor Lawrence having his best year with him this year.
Yeah, it could be something to it.
I just got to give him credit.
I think it's the surprises are the guys that aren't there even more because you never know who's going to emerge in the NFL. There's always one or two teams you don't see coming. Yeah. But to see the Chiefs on the outside looking in, the freaking Packers, they were talking about the Packers going undefeated after they traded for Micah Parsons.
Yeah, I like the Packers.
Well, the Packers are still going to make the playoffs, probably.
I mean, they're not in it right now, I don't think.
They're in seventh place right now.
They're in seventh, yeah. Because the Lions lost.
So it's the teams that you think, okay, well, for sure. You don't know what else is going to happen. This team, and this team are for sure going to make it. You can't even count on that anymore.
No, that's true.
I'm a little surprised. Honestly, I'm a little surprised at the 49ers because they lost a lot of people.
They've had so many injuries.
And they keep rolling. I was impressed.
They've clinched a playoff spot. In the NFC, 5 of the playoff spots are clinched already. Seattle, Chicago, Philly, San Francisco, and the Rams are all in the playoffs. You got Carolina and Tampa Bay for the NFC South. Carolina's 8-7, Tampa Bay 7-8, but they play each other again. I think if the Buccaneers win out, they will still win the division because they play Carolina the last week of the season. Green Bay's got the 7 seed over Detroit. They're up a game and a half over Detroit because they have a tie. So Green Bay will probably get the last spot over Detroit. But that's it. In the AFC, you also have by the way, for the first time ever, we might have all 14 playoff spots clinched before the final week of the season.
I don't like that.
Because if Baltimore loses or Pittsburgh wins, they clinch. I believe that the Texans, I think, clinch with a win. If Carolina wins and the Buccaneers lose, then the Carolina clinches. And if Green Bay wins, I think they clinch.
You know how I can't believe I'm gonna say this. You know how I'm slightly impressed with the freaking Steelers, man.
They just roll.
I saw a stat that said they're going to be 500 for the
20th year in a row. Oh,
22.
22.
I think it's 22.
22, yeah. 19.
19
Tomlin's been there for 19.
Winning record 22 years in a row.
Man,
it's great.
Man.
The Browns have had 3 winning seasons in the last 22 years.
Man.
Well, how about this stat?
I'm going to give them credit.
Since 99, the Browns have had 24. This is only in 26 years, right? 27 years, I think. Yeah, 27 years, last 27 football seasons. The Browns have had 24 4-game losing streaks, 4 games or more losing streaks, which is crazy. It's almost one a year. How many do you think the Ravens and Steelers have had combined?
Probably 0, 1, 2.
Wait.
No.
Going back
27 years.
5.
Probably 7 or 8.
It's actually more than that. It's actually 12 between them.
Okay.
That's still 6 apiece.
That's still 6. That's one every 4 years.
I mean, 4 games is a quarter of the season, and the Browns have lost a quarter of their season.
Yeah.
24 times.
Yeah. 24 times. That's got to be the worst.
Okay.
And maybe the Jets. But the Jets had some good years.
Let me ask y'all this.
Yeah.
Sanchez took him to the AFC Championship game. In
So,
Pennington years.
If you guys, okay, because I know there's 2 different thought processes.
Yeah.
You see the Steelers, and they always over 500.
Yeah.
Do you agree with the way they're handling the quarterback, or would you guys, or are you out of the thought process that you have to, the Steelers should go drop down, take L's, get the quarterback, and then get back up?
No, the Steelers have a healthy culture. They just win, and they'll figure out the quarterback as they go.
Right, but the reality is,
do you think
they'll figure it out?
They're not going to win a Super Bowl this way. Now,
I don't know. I wouldn't bet them to win this year. Would you really be shocked? Given what we just said.
All right, I'd be surprised. Not shocked.
I'd be a little surprised.
I would be I wouldn't pick them to win.
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and say they have no. There have been past years where we looked at the Steelers and said, all right, they made the playoffs. They ain't going anywhere. They got no shot. I'm not saying that this year.
The way that they're building, and the reason I ask is because a lot of fans in Pittsburgh is kind of tired.
Right. I would, if you're a Steeler fan, it sounds crazy to Browns fans that Steeler fans would want Mike Tomlin gone or be pissed. But I get it because, like I said the other day, and the Bengals are obviously more similar to the Browns than they are to the Steelers. When Marvin Lewis went to the playoffs 7 years in a row, the first 3, 4, maybe even 5 years, I was like, this is awesome. Playoffs every year, competitive team. By years, certainly by 6 or 7, maybe by 5, I was like, I'm done. Get rid of him. We can't get eventually you got to get past that point. Yeah. Now, Mike Tomlin did win a Super Bowl early in his career, so it's obviously different. But eventually, it's not your priorities change. As a Browns fan, like right now, every Browns fan would sign up for what the Steelers have been.
Of course.
But if, let's say the next 7 years, the Browns went to the playoffs and lost in the first round every time, eventually you'd be like, we got to make a change.
Do you think that they'll ever? Do you think they will ever? Well, they kind of did it with Kenny Pickett. They kind of reached on Kenny like in the first round, and that
just
didn't
like
work
the
out.
Patriots did with Mac Jones,
right?
But then eventually the Patriots, the Steelers are the problem for the Steelers, and they got Ben Roethlisberger later in the draft. They never drafted the top 10, or almost never.
Not that later.
Yeah,
Ben was a top 10 pick.
11.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he
was
11. I think it was 11. And
but still, I mean, they're never, usually.
Rarely. Yes.
I mean, what's funny is, as topsy-turvy as the NFL is this year, with 3 of the 4 best quarterbacks not making the playoffs, still almost every team in the playoffs that's going to the playoffs has a quarterback that was drafted in the first round. Think about it. I mean, think about this, right?
Except for Purdy.
Eagles. Hurts was drafted in the second. All right, right now. So you got in the AFC.
Broncos, Patriots, first round.
Patriots, Jaguars, all first round. Steelers, first round. I know he's old and he's not, but he still is a first round.
Counts. Yeah.
Still counts. Chargers, first round. Bills, first round. Texans. All 7 teams in the AFC have a first round pick.
Yeah.
Now, if Baltimore gets in, it would be a first round pick too.
Yep.
Indy's still alive. They don't have a first round pick, but he's not. They're not. Oh, Philip Rivers was a first round pick. That's right.
1987.
They dipped back.
That's right.
They dipped back to the 03 class.
In the NFC, Seattle first round pick, Chicago first round pick, Philly second round, Carolina first round, Rams Niners 7th round, Rams first round, Packers first round. If the Lions get in first round, if the Buccaneers get in first round. Basically every quarterback except for Purdy, and Hurts was drafted in the second round.
It's
right
in front of you.
Yeah.
All the data is right in front of you.
No.
Have you ever? And I mean, that's crazy because the Lions they did trade for him.
Yeah.
But they traded the first round pick for
they
a
traded.
first round
That's
pick.
right. That's right.
And they got first round picks back to take the contract.
Yeah, that's true.
Who won that trade?
They both did. Both teams got exactly what they wanted out of that.
Yeah. I mean,
the Rams got a Super Bowl.
You have to give the Rams the edge.
I mean, they got the Super Bowl
because they won a Super Bowl.
But the Lions would do that trade over and over and over.
Right.
So that means
it worked great for both teams. But if I had to pick a winner, I'm picking the Rams because they won the Super Bowl.
It is,
and ultimately Stafford is better than Goff.
What if the Lions eventually win a Super Bowl with Goff?
Unless they win multiple Super Bowls with Goff,
I think
I would still give a slide. It's still a win for the Lions.
It was one of the most even trades ever.
A trade of that size to work out great for both teams.
Very rarely do you see both temes walk away and go, "We got exactly what we wanted out of that."
Right.
Yep.
And what I'll say about, because I know you and Jay will refuse to listen to the Deshaun Watson being the second worst trade of all time, but here's what I'll say about that. Maybe this will make it think everybody. In terms of the loser of that trade, I would agree that the Browns are the biggest loser of that trade. But the Cowboys are a bigger winner of the other trade than the Texans are in this trade.
See, I just look at it from the Browns' perspective.
Right. From the loser perspective, yes, the Browns were a bigger loser. From a winner's perspective, the Cowboys were a bigger winner because it directly led to them winning those championships.
Yeah. I would say in the last 10 years, the worst trades would be the 49ers and the Broncos.
but not worse than the Watson trade.
No, but I would say
those were bad too.
They were horrible, and then.
But look what the Broncos did.
They're not
got rid of Russell Wilson.
They're now playoff teams.
Yeah.
And like it almost as it never happened.
They found replacements quickly. They found Knicks. Denver found Knicks in the first round.
Yeah.
And they figured it out. And San Francisco fell into
San Francisco got very lucky.
Yeah, they did.
I don't think Knicks is going to be the guy to put them over the hump yet, though.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. He could develop into it still, but
I mean, he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, but that defense makes them look a lot better than they are.
I'm not putting him in the elite
status. He's a tier 2 quarterback.
Yeah, he's not elite.
I would put him as.
I'd take him on this team in a second.
To me, he's a lower end tier 2 quarterback, and I think
he's only in year 2.
I think I could win a Super Bowl with that if the team is very good around him, which it is.
He's played well the first 2 years.
I mean, they got one of the top 5 defenses. They got. I like R.J. Harvey. He's getting better every week at running back. They got solid, pretty good receivers.
Here's what I will say.
Yeah.
I'll give you this. I do think, as we talk about the quarterback situation, whether who you got or whether you feel like the guy is the guy or whatever the case may be, I do believe that Bo Nix is an example of. And Shaun, I'm gonna ask him about this a little bit too. A lot of it is how they drafted you and what they feel about you. Because if they draft you, I like the fact that Denver, they went in saying, Bo Nix is my dude. Sean Payton,
right?
He said, come hell or high water. Listen, me and Russell Wilson not working. We about to get rid of him, and we about to go all in on Bo Nix. And everything that they do is revolving around Bo Nix. I think a lot of times with young quarterbacks, you got to be all in on them. Like, and if you want to figure out if you got a franchise dude, you can't half step. It's either you going step up, put your arms around them, put the investment in them, or move on and find somebody else that you is going to do that. Yeah. I think that's important when it comes to young quarterbacks 100%. And organizations.
100%. All right, we got Shaun.
Yeah, guys, we got Shaun. I'm going to do a quick read here before we bring him in. With the best entertainment in the land, great promotions, and affordable tickets, Cleveland Monsters Hockey is the perfect outing for any family. With reoccurring game nights like 1, 2, 3 Fridays, Monster Family Days, Blue Jacket games, and giveaway nights, there's something for everyone at Rocket Arena when the goal horn sounds. Also, it's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman Night, presented by GE Lighting with the Cleveland Monsters. Celebrate Superman on Tuesday, December 30th at 6:30 p.m. with Monsters Hockey as they take the ice in Clark Kent warm-ups and Superman-inspired game jerseys. When the first 2,500 kids 14 and under get a Superman cape, tickets are on sale now, so fly on over to clevelandmonsters.com.
All right, Shaun. Long time no speak, Shaun. It's been a whole 2 days.
Happy holidays.
Same to you.
Happy holidays.
Yo.
Yeah, man.
What are you doing?
It's a great time. It's a great time to be alive, especially if you're not a Browns fan.
Oh my God! Hey, Shaun,
Hater.
Shaun was on my podcast. He was gracious enough to do my podcast this week.
I just saw that. It was a good episode.
It's my second most viewed podcast of all time.
Cut that check.
Shout out to Shaun.
Wow.
Still has a shot to get to
Awesome,
number 1.
man.
We'll see. It is number 1 amongst podcasts with a guest. So there you go. But anyway, the reason I bring that up is because we were talking off the air about like weather, and you're like, you don't care about a white Christmas because you live in warm weather. And so what is your family's like Christmas tradition? Like what's your deal there for that? Like whether it's food or whatever, is there something you do every year?
So America has evolved and changed, and I got time today, guys. So if y'all not in a rush, I'm not in a rush.
All right.
When I was growing up, America still was a family unit-based country, right? We got together for Christmas, we got together for Thanksgiving, and I'm talking about all of the family that lived within an hour, 2 hour of where the matriarch or patriarch, resided.
Yeah.
And I grew up like that. But now in 25, man, I don't know if there's any families that live in the same town. Like everybody's cross country, other side of the world. So, my family's in Singapore. Like they all went.
Wow.
To visit my wife's family. She's from there. So I'm here by myself, and it's raining. It's messing up my hair, and I'm extremely upset.
Shaun.
Messing up your hair?
Shaun, that's crazy.
Hey,
I didn't even know because, my wife has been to Singapore. She's from the Philippines. She's been to Singapore about 3-4 times. and she always tells me how beautiful and clean the country is, and how it's crime. And so she like, we got to go for the holidays, and I'm like, man, I don't know about that, bro. I don't know. Listen, I got the way my passport's set up. I need to get back into the country. You ain't about to keep me nowhere. Yeah. No, I'm playing. But so yeah, that's wild, man. So
you gotta go, G. Bush. Singapore will make you feel like America has not quite caught up to some places in this world. Wow. We trail Singapore.
Yeah, the economy is crazy. Like that, it's just.
But don't you get clean. Like if you put a piece of gum on the street, you get thrown in jail? Or something?
Yeah, you going to jail.
Oh yeah. It's clean. It's crime free. It's beautiful. Yeah. It's affluent. Like, it's a whole lot of stuff that America isn't right now. But shout out to America.
I'm glad we here though. Shout out to America. Land of the free, home of the brave.
Land of the free, home of the brave.
All right, Shaun. You said it's a happy holiday season for everybody except for Browns fans. Fans continue, and we were just talking about the fact that the NFL is more than any other sport meant for teams to be near the middle. Like, every team has their ups and downs mostly. This year has been crazy with some of the teams that are out and in, and yet almost every year the Browns stink. It's almost impossible to do, but it is.
I can fix the Browns. So y'all got to, get in Mr. Haslam's ear. I know one of the esteemed panelists right there has a key card that gets them in the building on regular basis. Yeah. Why don't you swing by the Haslam's?
He's not taking my calls these days, but go ahead.
and say, hey, I know a guy.
Yeah.
Because here's how you fix the Browns. The first thing you got to do is remove emotion. And then you have to promise yourself, I'm not going to act on impulse. Because the one thing that the NFL has mastered is true parity. You think Carolina Panthers 2 years ago, now they're competing for a division. Think Jacksonville last year, Jacksonville now. Yep. It doesn't take a whole lot of restructuring to get back to a level where you're operating on compete for division title, make the playoff level.
Hey,
so I think when you're looking at
Shaun, sorry to cut you off, but just more examples: the Patriots, the Broncos, and the Bears.
Absolutely. So it's not like the NBA where we gotta sell off all of our assets and get 25 picks in 2030 and be looking forward to 5 years from now. Like, you can do this in especially 2 off seasons, but sometimes 1. And I want to just put this out there in the stratosphere because I know a lot of the attention is going to the quarterback room. There's some single men out there that want to be married. But to be happily married, they got to find the right woman. It's a whole lot of teams in the NFL that want a franchise quarterback. So you can't just assume that because we have a need, there's the special talent to fill said need. Sometimes you have to look at what you have and say, if we get really good around this, what's our ceiling? And if I was to become the GM of the Browns, that would be the first decision I think I would make. I'm not anointing Shador the franchise quarterback. I'm not giving up completely on Deshaun. I'm not in the mindset that Dylan Gabriel can't be a competent backup or third-string guy. But what I am saying is I'm also not going to sit here and say that Mendoza is one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the National Football League, or Dante Moore, or whoever declares. Like, that's the cloudy picture with this upcoming draft. These guys haven't even announced they're entering the draft yet. But when you look at a Fernando Mendoza, forget about is he better than the quarterbacks you have. When you assign that kind of asset, meaning top 10 pick, top 5 pick to a quarterback, where do you now rank in the NFL?
Right, I get what you're saying. So that's
a big question.
Right, you got to believe if you're going to draft a quarterback that high, you have to believe that eventually he doesn't have to be a top 10 quarterback immediately, but you have to believe that at some point in a couple of years,
he has the traits.
About 3 years.
He's going to be a top 10 quarterback, right? Otherwise, you don't take him.
He has the traits and the characteristics to put us in the elite level of the league when it comes to that position. Otherwise, you're better at taking an elite player at another position and getting better around whoever the quarterback is. I mean, Brock Purdy's not an elite talent, But San Francisco, they surround him with really good players. Christian McCaffrey, George Kittles, Trent Williams. They had a really good receiver room. And Ayuk went crazy. Debo got traded. But when you look at some of these guys, like some of these quarterbacks are just managing the game. And the beautiful thing is, after next year, you're off Deshaun's contract, and the other two guys are still on rookie deals. So that'll give you a lot of cap flexibility to go out and fill some of the other holes on the roster.
Yeah.
Let me. I'm going to ask you this question. You know, when you look at it, I kind of talked about this before, and this is a bigger picture about quarterback play. You know, I go back and I watch and looked at some of the data and the statistics of guys like, you know, even Manning, Peyton Manning, his first couple of years. Take a look at Josh Allen, his first couple of years, right? Quarterbacks that, you know, wasn't setting the world on fire, but they were given a little bit of time to kind of to grow and figure it out. That time seems to be sped up a lot around the league. You get people, you get a year, you get a couple of games here or there to figure out, because the time seems to be speeding where it's like, okay, I got to figure out what's up with this or how to that. I look at teams that kind of wrap their arms around quarterbacks and invest in them and say, we are all in on. It's almost like the marriage thing. Like if I find a person that I can be married to and we vibing, I'm going to invest everything I got so that person can succeed. How does that play a role in the development of a quarterback if the organization is truly married to what they are?
Well, then they want him to succeed, and they're willing to show grace and have patience. And patience is something that you very rarely get at that position. I mean, there are a lot of top 10 picks in the last 4 years that are backup quarterbacks in the locations outside of where they were drafted. Trey Lance, Zach Wilson come to mind immediately. To your point, I want to bring up Phillip Rivers the other night. Anybody watch that game?
Yep.
Because you brought up Peyton Manning. See, when quarterbacks used to come into the National Football League, they had started 3 years in college. They understood the mechanics of playing the quarterback position. They knew how to lead men. So their learning curve was really just getting acclimated with the speed of the game. This new era of quarterbacks coming into the league are as high profile as we've ever seen, but also as underdeveloped as there's ever been a group in the history of quarterbacks coming into this league, because the systems in college aren't preparing them. They're getting coddled because people are afraid to lose them to the portal or let them or not be their quarterback coach. So these guys need real patience. You pretty much got to break most of them down and get rid of all the bad habits in order to make the foundation solid so they got something they can stand on. If you follow me on Twitter at Real Shaun King, I tweeted something out during that game. Phillip Rivers can't move, can't throw the ball past 30 yards, and he led that offense to multiple scoring drives because he understands how to play the quarterback position. Yeah. Very few of these young guys understand that. So that's why this rush to who's in the next draft class, he had a good year in college, but it was way better than all the other years he's had, or he had 5 good games in college, so we're going to draft him on potential. Those guys aren't going to be the answer 9 out of 10 times. Because the organizations aren't showing grace and patience. Yeah. Well, at least in basketball, they draft you based on what you were in high school, and you're going to get to your second contract regardless. You know, in NFL, it's not necessarily like that. Like, look at the class of the Caleb Williams class. That's probably the best class so far we've seen in a long time. Drake May looks like the real deal. I don't fully trust Bo Nix, but the best version of Bo Nix, I think, is capable of making a deep run. Jaden Daniels kind of regressed a little bit, but we've seen the talent. Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, perfect mix. If Caleb gets any other head coach, I think he's on the hot seat, possibly going to lose his job in Chicago. So, that's probably the best group we've seen in a long time. J.J. McCarthy can't stay healthy, so you can't even evaluate him yet. But we haven't seen that kind of group come in a while. So, just to put a bow on what I'm saying, you might be better off with what you got and upgrade the kitchen put some more stuff in the backyard so it's more fun to entertain, than to go and buy a new house and then realize that house need a whole lot of remodeling and renovations as well.
Shaun, I've been having various forms of that conversation for a couple of weeks, just in terms of like, there's the elite class, right? Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, Lamar. Those names haven't changed for years, and it just feels like no one else has broken through into that level in quite some time. And why? Why is that? And, I was talking to someone who said, like, the Trevor Lawrence class was a big dud. Trevor's finally starting to emerge. I can't remember all the other names that were in that class. I think it was the 21.
I think that was Trey Lance and Zach Wilson and weren't they all in that class? And Matt Jones.
I think
Jones.
You're right. And like
Jones,
one of those guys, none of those guys really took a leap or really took any leap at all. Trevor finally a little bit this
Kenny
year.
Pickett too, or no?
Pickett was by himself.
Okay.
Pickett was with Malik Willis.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So how do you teach a guy how to play quarterback in the NFL?
You stop overdrafting them, so you get a chance to teach them. See, the pressure comes from where you're selected, because that rookie contract, even if you're a mid to late round, was it 3 years? Mm-hmm. The pressure comes when you're drafted or when you're overdrafted. If Trey Lance would have been drafted in the second round by the Niners, and they would have kept Garoppolo and let Trey develop under Garoppolo, then he might still be in San Francisco. But they drafted him, they had Super Bowl expectations. The Jets been looking for a quarterback as long as, well, not as long as the Browns. You guys are in a special category, but for a long time. They drafted Zach Wilson after one good year at BYU during COVID, where they played no Power 4 teams, and expected him to be the savior.
Yeah.
Like, you got to stop overdrafting these kids because there are unrealistic expectations when you do it. You guys have a great situation because you've got two guys that are very affordable, and one guy who's kind of on the expiring contract who, to Deshaun's credit, hadn't really ruffled any feathers when he's not playing. So it's not like he's a cancerous, tumor in the building. So I might use this opportunity to try and go get a lot better in some other spots so that whomever the quarterback ends up being has a better chance of sustained success.
So then how do you reconcile that against the conversation we just had that I think, 10 of the 12 quarterbacks in the playoffs right now were first-round picks?
Well, there's always somebody that deserves to be drafted in the first round. The problem is there's just a whole lot more of them that don't. So the dogs are going to be the dogs. Yeah, Joe Burrow was going to be Joe Burrow no matter where he went. Lamar Jackson was going to be Lamar Jackson no matter where he went. I will stand on this till this day. Jameis Winston should be a starting quarterback in the National Football League. He's one of the top 32 ball spinners out there. You guys are starting to believe me, too. Cam Ward, even though Tennessee stinks, Cam Ward has made some of the most amazing high level of difficulty throws I've ever seen this year. That talent is undeniable. So, some of these guys deserve to go high in the first round because they have the traits, the characteristics, the attributes, and the talent. But a lot of these guys are overdrafted just because there's always a need, right, for a new thing. Like, you got a perfectly fine vehicle. It gets you from point A to point B, but now I need something more flashy. Guess what? Your insurance go up, your car note go up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, man, what you got is good enough, man. You got to get better around it. I'd rather have a Ford in a $2 million house than a $500,000 car and be renting.
Just, have you done the work yet? And I know we're early. Have you done the work yet on Mendoza and Moore?
I haven't because they haven't declared yet. Here's the thing. What quarterbacks are in this draft that we're sure of?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who?
That's anybody? Art said he's coming back to school. Mensah from Duke said he's coming back to school. We hadn't heard anything from Ty Simpson. We hadn't heard nothing from Dante Moore. I think Mendoza has another year if he wants to come back, doesn't he? He was only a Cal 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't know. Nowadays, it seems like guys can play for 7-8 years.
Well, they got NIL money, and they can make their money in college now.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's the thing. We really don't even know what this class looks like, and I don't want to deep dive a bunch of guys that are coming back to school.
Makes sense. Hey, Shaun, I'm curious. Obviously we talk so much about quarterback, but the Browns' defense the last 3 weeks has been lousy after they had been excellent for most of the season. What do you make of how poorly they've played the last 3 games?
Listen, when a team that can defend the run is a team that's locked in, that's ready to play hard-nosed, tough football from start to finish. The Browns are chasing Myles Garrett's sack record.
Yep.
They aren't concerned with playing great defense. They've been abysmal the last couple of weeks. I'm glad you brought it up because nobody wants to talk about it. But that comes from the top down. Like, that's a leadership issue. Like, say what you want about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tomlin don't ever let them go through below average. Like, they're trying to fire Tomlin, 2-3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
That was, hey, what? Look, Mike get in there and Mike get them guys, hey, look, eyes up. Hey, we got a job to do. In spite of all the criticism and ridicule, it might be the narrative outside this building. We know what we got in this building. We're going to go out there. We're going to show us. And, like, he's a leader of men. And all of a sudden, Pittsburgh running the football, playing good defense. They're going to get T.J. Watt back. You know, unfortunately, NFL overreacted with DK Metcalf. But Stefanski, that's his job.
Yeah.
Right? No matter what's going on, his job is, okay, listen, guys, we got a job to do. Those checks hit. So I expect you to earn those checks. Like, it's my biggest issue from the outside in with Stefanski is I don't think he has great leadership capabilities, and I think he coddles his quarterbacks at an all-time high level. Have y'all seen the play calling?
Yeah.
Like, you could have Joe Burrow at quarterback and wouldn't know if he was good or not because everything's a screen. All the balls are behind the line of scrimmage. Like, I said this when I came on a couple weeks ago. You got to get really aggressive in this situation and find out what the quarterback can and can't do. This isn't about winning games. This is about information gathering. Like, when the last time they threw a ball deep over the middle of the field, like, within the confines of the call play? Like, even that first drive, we all went right down the field. That was all play action in the flat, you know, bubble screen here, you know, hitch route here. Like, Kevin, come on, dog. You ain't got nothing to lose. Go in that room and yell YOLO. Say, we about to see what it do this week. Isaiah, IB, come here, baby. Man, we finna route these guys up, man. Have y'all thrown 8 comeback in the last 4 weeks? Like, any outcuts on the out? Like, it is. I'm watching a JV football game. Like, what is going on?
Hey, Shaun, you mentioned DK Metcalf there. I wanted to follow up. Do you think he should not have been suspended at all, or it should have been 1 game, or what?
Here's what I think.
Yeah.
A fan can say a fan can do whatever they want from the seat they purchase. But when you allow fans to get out of the third row and walk down to the edge of the stands, I feel like that's inappropriate. Now, I think DK was wrong, but to suspend him 2 games with the Steelers being in the position they are, I feel like we've seen some more egregious stuff happen this year than that.
Go ahead.
Fan behavior is just – listen, the players can't touch the fans. I get it. We can't have that. But fan behavior is so awful. And I think these teams that make billions and billions of dollars need to have more security at the games. So, like, if you hear the video, like, I don't know what it does. He said there was a racist thing said to him. In the videos I've seen, you don't hear anything. Doesn't mean it wasn't said. But, like, you do know this guy was trying to antagonize DK Metcalf. You can't have that. We got to have security there for these situations.
All this money y'all making, can we get some real security guards?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, the NFL is normally not the issue. Usually it's the NBA. The fans are right on top of the players in the
ridiculous.
NBA.
It's ridiculous.
NFL, I mean.
God bless. If you look at the video, God bless her. It's a little black lady that's kneeling down. She trying to get home for Christmas with her family. She ain't trying to have no conflict. She don't want no confrontation.
No smoke.
Like, man, come on, get some big guys down there because, like, fans, stay in your seat. Like, it'd been different to me if DK went in the stands and went to do. The dude came out of his row, which I think was the third row, walked down to the edge, leaned over the edge. He got a wig on. So I don't know what the hell was said to make DK swing at it. But DK don't have a history of that kind of behavior. So I'm going to give guys like that the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I ain't never seen him wild out. I ain't never seen him crash out. It's crazy. It's unfortunate. Let me ask you this. As a guy, a coordinator, former coordinator at a high level in college, we got some problems up front. We also have some problems on the outside. I was watching your podcast, and you said you haven't done the work on some of the receivers, and I thought it was funny that you said you got a different criteria how you judge guys from some of the mainstream guys. So I was like, yeah, I got to watch where you get that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on what's more important in today's football for a young quarterback? Is it I need me a dude that's a bona fide dude up front, or do I need a dog or a dude on the outside that if push come to shove 50-50, I'm looking at him. I got him over there. Which one do you think is in a pecking order? Because the Browns obviously need both of those positions. Which would you rank higher and why?
I would rather do what Chicago has done than be Cincinnati. Because a young quarterback, even if he had T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, like those throws that Burrow makes to those guys, he ain't going to be comfortable doing that. Like, I would rather have DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, Cole Kmet, two running backs, the guys Zacchaeus from Washington. Like, I'd rather have a whole bunch of, like, slightly above average guys than have two elite guys and then nothing behind it with a young quarterback.
To be fair, Sean,
here's my
let me defend the Bengals a little bit, because the Bengals, even Joe Burrow said their offensive line is the best he's had. It got, obviously everybody says their line stinks. It has. It's better now, and they got a good running back. Chase Brown's a good running back, and they got just as good a tight ends as the Bears do. Maybe Love was better in the long run.
You saw how much better the Colts offensive line looked when they got rid of Daniel Jones, who moved all around the pocket and put Phillip Rivers back there. Pass protections are designed for the quarterback to be in one specific spot.
Right.
There's something called functional mobility that you saw with Phillip Rivers. If I have a little pressure here, I can slide in the pocket, stay on rhythm, get rid of the football. You don't get that with these young guys. They all over the place. Have you seen Baker Mayfield lately? He like a chicken with his head cut off back there. I don't know what happened to Baker. Ever since he got on the microphone and said, they call me immature in Cleveland, but now they say I got swag in Tampa. He's been pure butt cheeks. Like, I'm just saying. Like, you can't trust him. Like, nope. Phillip Rivers showed you how to make the pass protection good. Yep. Stay your butt in the pocket and get rid of the ball in rhythm. When you have to move in the pocket, it's subtle functional mobility that still allows you to get rid of the football in rhythm on time with great ball location. Like, I would say this. During Shador's tenure, the O-line hadn't been terrible. If we're being honest. I think he has to quicken up his release a little bit. He has an elongated release right now that's a little methodical. It's why he's getting more balls batted at the line of scrimmage than normal. He's got to quicken his release up just a little bit. I think he's got to have an uptick on his tempo on some passes, but that stuff is easily correctable. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't feel like the O-line has been terrible.
I agree with you. What do you call them? The Shador sexuals? What's the term you used?
Prime sexuals.
The prime sexuals will argue that you're crazy and that the offensive line has been terrible.
Well, they're trying to put him in a Pro Bowl, so you can't listen to that group.
That's fair.
And have y'all seen the Pro Bowl vote? By the way, we talked about it yesterday. I said he's not going to the Pro Bowl. So, we're not doing that. Stop. No,
Sean, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Great to have you on as always. We'll talk to you soon.
I don't think one guy likes me on the left over there. He don't never talk.
Jason, Jason's just quiet.
I won't bite.
He's just quiet.
Shoot, give me a call. I'll have a 20-minute conversation with you. I love talking to former quarterbacks.
I just don't shut up, Sean.
Bull. Hey, Bull, give him my number. I got to make sure when I come to Cleveland, I ain't in no harm. Ain't no harm gonna come to me. I got no who my friends are.
Sean, you don't remember this, but you and I spoke on the phone for about 25 minutes after a Thursday night game. Who was the running back that the Browns had that you were tight with, who had a really big game on a Thursday night? Do you remember
Jerome Ford.
No, it wasn't Jerome. This was pre-Jerome.
No, it's Dearness Johnson.
It was Dearness. Isn't Dearness the guy?
Yeah, Dearness Johnson.
I called you after his big Thursday night game, and we were on the phone for about a half hour together. And you remember that now?
Dearness about to get some playoff money. Ain't he backing up in New England?
Oh, is he?
I thought he was in Jacksonville for a while.
He was in Jacksonville last year. I know that, but
I think it's in New England.
All right.
Hey, when you come in town, just show you it's all love. When you come in town, we'll all get together and we'll all go out to eat, and we'll all go to the Marble Room, but it's on Jay.
Not Sweet Pork Wilson's?
Well, I mean, we're going to go up top.
Okay.
I mean,
Jay's paying. We're going
We got
fancy.
the big dog.
If Jay is paying,
we're going to Marble Room up top.
Hey, real talk, guys. I think this is my last show of the year. So everybody have a wonderful Christmas, an amazing, happy New Year, and go Browns. And when I say go Browns, I mean lose these last 2 games. Don't mess up this draft. Don't mess up this draft by doing something strange, okay?
And Shaun, I seen you with the Cuban on the other day. I seen you. Santa must have been good with the. He had the Cuban on. I see what you talk about.
Yeah, when the price of gold shot up, I got a couple gold bars and some safe deposit boxes.
Yeah, look.
So I sent one to my jeweler a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Try and get my Shador on.
Cigar Shaun King strikes again.
There it is. Thanks, Shaun.
And the blessings, man. Yeah.
Right, Merry Christmas, Shaun.
Yeah, that was good. All right, let's spend a couple minutes on the Cavs, and then after we do that, the rest of the show will be Ask the Show, all your wacky, wild, crazy, or normal questions not having to do with sports. Coming up after 5 good minutes on the Cavs. Go ahead.
All right, guys, so I actually have a special read for us before we get to the Cavs. The HBA's Foundation, Make-A-Wish, and all of their sponsors would like to thank everybody for participating in the 2025 A Home for the Holidays raffle and changing lives. The 2025 Cleveland winner is Yvonne Y. from Uniontown, Ohio. Congratulations and happy holidays. We've got a celebratory video.
That's on a house.
Congratulations.
It's time to draw our 2025 Cleveland A Home for the Holidays raffle winner. On behalf of HBA's Foundation, Build Trades, Make-A-Wish, and all of our sponsors, we would like to thank everyone for participating and changing lives.
And the winner is Yvonne Y. from Uniontown, Ohio. Congratulations.
Boy.
That's awesome.
So you get that. Listen. Boy, that's wild to get you a whole crib.
Imagine winning a house.
What are you going to do?
It's like a $800,000 house, too.
I mean, if I won it, I would have just sold it. I'd sell it.
Now I'm moving. I'm gone.
Really?
I'm out of here.
I mean, you got to kind of have to go where the house is. It's not like a car. You can bring it to you.
No, you can sell it.
No, but I'm saying if you want to keep it, you got to go
right,
where
I'm
the house
not moving
is.
out of, now we're ingrained in the community. I'm not moving out.
I mean, you think it's awards that's a nice house.
It's a sweet looking,
that's
beautiful new
that's
house.
Crazy.
I'd love to live in it, but I don't want to move.
Uniontown. Where is this house going? Never mind. I can't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, we can't.
Yeah,
why
we
would
don't
they?
get signed.
All
right, let's get into let's spend a couple of minutes on the Cavs, guys.
What's the address to this
They
place?
won against the awful Charlotte Bobcats yesterday.
Bobcats?
They played the Pelicans.
They played
yesterday.
the Pelicans. Where are you?
Charlotte Bobcats.
They
The New
played
Orleans
the Seattle
Pelicans.
Supersonics
That's how much I
tomorrow.
cared about that game. I didn't watch a minute. Anybody watch it?
Yeah, I had
Of
it on.
course.
I was working in my office. I had it on.
But let's look ahead to Christmas Day tomorrow, tomorrow, where they will play the New York Knickerbockers.
Well, hold on. We can't fast forward to that. But listen, all them people scored over 10 points. All them people was in double figures. I thought, Sam Merrill's being back. I think maybe this is something. The last 2 games. Now these teams are trash. They're trash.
I mean, they had to be. This was a 6-game stretch. They should have won 5, and I think they won.
Should have won 5. Shouldn't they have won all 6?
It's the NBA.
All right, fine.
But I think they won 3. Right?
Wait, you say it's the NBA. Outside of baseball, it's the most. It's actually
There's still goofy
the
things.
most predictable sport.
I'm not going to
really,
say they should
including
win
baseball.
all 6 games against
Right,
that
okay,
team.
fine.
I'm giving them 1.
Plus,
Yeah,
people
they
be sitting.
beat the Wizards. They lost to the Hornets. They lost to the Bulls twice. They beat the Hornets, and then they beat the Pelicans last night. So
They won 3 of 6. They should have been 5-1. Yeah, I mean
They was playing bad.
I'm not going to. Let's see them play well against the Knicks. Maybe
it's
then
not
I'll
just
start
like they got a stretch coming up. It's Knicks, Rockets, Spurs. I think, back to back to back.
Go win 2 or 3 of those. Go win 2 of those 3. Then we'll talk.
Are the Spurs legit like that?
They're pretty good. Yeah, they're legit.
They just beat OKC by what, 20 last night?
They beat them again.
Yeah, they beat them again last night.
Put that work on them. I'll be interested. First and foremost, I'm not gonna hate.
Yeah.
The Cavs are on Christmas Day. It's the first Christmas Day since when I want to say LeBron in 2017, 2018.
This is the first time the Cavs were ever on Christmas Day without LeBron.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So
all right.
it's the
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what sucks? Like from an NBA perspective, all the good teams are in the West. This feels like
it's been that way for 30 years.
Yeah.
No, but has it been this lopsided?
Yeah.
I mean, look,
There's always you had the Heat, you had the Cavs, you had LeBron.
You had LeBron.
All the free agents.
Celtics. You had
All the free
LeBron and
agents
you had a
went
couple.
west because they couldn't get past LeBron for however many years.
Right, you had LeBron and then you had a little sprinkling of Celtics. But now
traditionally, if you start with the late 90s, early 2000s, if you go along, you kind of had the Jazz that were really good. Then you had the Lakers who had 3 in a row.
Yeah.
During that time period, you also had the Trailblazers were good. You also have the Spurs for a long period of time. The Timberwolves.
should get rid of conferences.
And KG were good. Sacramento was good for a period of time.
There's usually 1 or 2 teams in the East that can compete with anybody.
Yeah.
But the depth of the West for
the Knicks are are you buying into the Pistons in the playoffs?
What do you mean by that?
How many teams? Like, who's the best team in the East? Is it the Knicks? If you had to bet on a team to get to the finals from the East, who are you betting on?
Probably the Knicks, but I think it's a bad bet. I think it could be like last year, where one of these teams nobody's talking about. Yeah,
but all right, but on paper, the Knicks are the best team.
On paper, right now, yes.
How many teams in the West would beat the Knicks in the finals?
Probably 4 or 5.
Right?
Might even 6.
Easy.
So the Western Conference Final is the championship, most likely, unless there's a catastrophic injury to the team that wins.
I mean,
that's probably accurate. You know, in the past, there's 1 or 2 East teams that can compete. This year, I don't know. Like,
you never know. The Pacers played a great series against the Thunder last year.
They pushed them a lot harder than I thought.
So maybe
they would.
we'll get surprised. Maybe the Pistons are a surprise team. Maybe the Knicks, even with all the hype, maybe they are good. Maybe the Thunder have an injury and they don't get to the finals.
They would need about 4 injuries to knock.
Well, I mean, some of those top teams. I mean,
no, they got
but to get out of the West, it would be tougher.
No, the bus has to hit a snowstorm and they can't.
No, what, the Nuggets or the Rockets couldn't beat them?
They could get got in a series.
Yeah,
I wouldn't bet on it.
No.
But it's not a foregone conclusion.
The Rock, I would say.
I mean, the Spurs are really good.
Come on, Cavs. This your shot. This your opportunity. All you got to do is beat the Knicks to get to the finals. The Hawks, the Magic, ain't nobody there. The Bucks.
You had to bet right now.
Get your life together.
You got to bet right now, all your money. Cavs lose in the first round or get to the NBA Finals.
Lose in the first round.
Yeah. Lose in the first round or get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
This all comes down to matchups. It's impossible to say.
Because they could play like the Heat in the play-in again.
Get to the.
Well, that doesn't count as the first round. I'm talking about the real first round.
Listen, I'm not going to do that.
If the play-in, if they're in the play-in, that doesn't count.
Like Donovan Mitchell was good enough to win a series by himself.
Yes.
What if
especially in the East?
What if they're the 5 or the 6 seed?
They could. I mean, they could be.
They could. Like I've seen him. Like Donovan played a young Orlando team. He won that series by himself.
Yeah.
If they're going to play a Hawks team, I think they may lose 3 games on the road. But
that's if he's healthy. He's doing too much. All right, that's it. We'll talk about the Cavs more later. Now it's time for Ask the Show.
I do want to remind everybody before we get to Ask the
you went the adolescent bull.
Screwed up all today.
The Cavs.
Before we get to it, I want to remind everybody that we are doing a Steelers watch party. It's going to be G, Mike, myself, and probably Earl. It'll start right when the game starts Sunday.
I mean, what's with these probablys? Are we doing this? And
well, Earl's on.
If you are the better. So let's get to it, Anthony. A bunch of people have sent in questions already. How many do we have right now? Do you know?
Last I counted, I had like 13 on Twitter, and then we had 40-something responses on YouTube. So I'm just going to be going through these as we go.
Yeah.
But this one made me laugh last night when I saw it from Busted Baxter over on Twitter. It says, Ant becomes famous celebrity, and everybody else is a part of my entourage. What jobs do each of you guys have? Who's my driver? Who's my manager? Who's my hype man?
Well, clearly I'm the driver.
I don't know if we're going to get him killed.
I don't know if I trust that.
I'm the I'll just be the hype man. Like, I'll be walking up, I'll be beside you, and if you single, I'm the one who goes to gets all the girls and be like, yo, Ant want to talk to you.
I'd be in charge of PR.
Okay.
Getting you in interviews, doing all this type of thing.
I cannot imagine you doing PR.
Really?
Hey, come here. Come here. Talk to him now. Talk to him.
What else am I going to do?
You're a loser. We're not going to give publication.
Your show sucks. He's not going on your show.
Bull is incredibly organized, so I would never have to worry about anything. I would text me what time to show up. I'd show up, and I'd be good.
And he answers the phone all the time.
I do. I always answer.
He always answers. Like, I don't know if he has this thing where it's
call me, I feel like you need me. I'm gonna be there for you.
So if I'm your hype man, I would have to actually live with you, because if you called me, there's a good chance that phone ain't nowhere near me.
I would absolutely, if I was rich and famous, build a guest house for G. No questions asked.
G would be your Cato.
People don't even remember Cato Kalin, right?
Yeah, unless you're. I mean, you got to be.
You got to be over 40.
You got to be over
Cato,
40.
He came in studio with Dustin and I once.
Did he really? What was he doing?
He was here for Comic-Con.
Oh my god!
It was so bizarre.
If you didn't know, Cato Kalin was like OJ's like
house guest,
dude. He was just his homie, like
he was kind of like if you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, I forget the name of the character. J.B. Smoove is the actor.
You know what?
Who lived in Larry's guest house.
All of them people is Johnny Crocker passed away.
Johnny Cock,
F. Lee Bailey.
F. Lee Bailey passed away.
Shapiro.
OJ's gone.
What about
Kardashian?
Robert Kardashian.
He's dead, right?
Yep. All them people.
Have you ever heard Chris Rock's Robert Kardashian bit?
No.
I don't think so.
Everybody look that up. It's very funny.
Okay.
I can't talk about it because it's inappropriate for me to talk about it. But just go Chris Rock on Kardashian.
That stopped the. Where were you at in '94 when that happened?
Not born.
On the night of the chase, I was sitting on my couch. We had just gone to Dairy Queen. Like, it's weird the things you remember, right?
I can't believe you remember that.
We all remember it.
We went to Dairy Queen and came home, was sitting on the couch, was getting ready to watch the NBA Finals, I think.
Yeah.
And then it clicked.
Bob Costas was going.
Yeah, I was
Knicks and Rockets.
I was in between. Like, I had dropped out of college and was working. And I remember the day of the verdict, I was working at an oil company. Mm-hmm. And I was working in the office of an oil company.
Yeah.
And the day of the, like.
It was October 95.
Right. We got this, there was one TV in the whole place that somebody plugged in.
Yeah.
And we all stood around the TV waiting for the result because it's the biggest story. Something like that would never happen again.
If you think.
Like, nothing would catch the imagination of everybody that way.
If you think Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson was crazy, my dad went to work and they had this one television.
Yeah.
And on one side was every black person watching the TV, and on another TV, it was every white person. It was crazy.
It was crazy.
And they was letting them watch TV at work, like when it was going on.
It was there was nothing else like that in my life to that point.
It was the morning of the Indians-Red Sox Game 1 of the 95 playoffs, because I was at a breakfast brunch luncheon.
Right.
I was trying to come up as a sports writer at the time, and there was some guy with like a little transistor radio up to his ear, announcing the verdict for the entire room.
I remember when, of course, was it the Challenger that blew up?
But that was.
Yeah, I remember.
Right,
that.
I remember that as a kid.
I was homesick that day.
Big moment.
Yeah, I was homesick that day.
Like, I remember that. Of course, 9/11. Locally in New York, you had two famous incidents. These were huge in New York. I don't know if you guys even know about these things. The Bernie Getz incident. Does anyone know about that? Mm-mm. And the Howard Beach incident. Mm-mm. These are two famous criminal situations.
Or everybody remembers Columbine.
Yeah, Columbine.
That was the first.
I was in college.
And now nobody can. Now it's all white noise.
Not.
I was in my dorm. I was in my dorm going to play a rec league co-ed softball game that night.
Yeah.
All right.
Next.
All right, we're bouncing over to YouTube. JS on YouTube says, "Gee, how do you think your life would be different if you had gotten casted on 90 Day Fiancé?"
Oh man. It might have been. It would have been completely different. I'm actually glad, because I think now looking back at it, like those episodes and shows like invite drama, and so
it's not real.
And so in the first, really what they wanted was they really wanted my ex-wife to be on the show.
Yeah.
And they wanted a storyline, and at the time, my wife was just like, she was like, I'm coming to America to meet this dude and I'm getting married. Like, she wasn't all for the drama, as you could tell. She don't be doing nothing now.
Yeah.
So I think that could have messed the relationship up, because it would have started drama, and especially when you're in a 90-day fiance where you live this long distance relationship, you don't have any basis. Like there's a lot of things that in the beginning that's kind of like you just trying to get to know somebody. Usually people meet the parents, meet everybody. We met and one day got engaged, and it is what it is. So you kind of rebuild the relationship backwards. So I'm kind of glad it didn't happen because it didn't make everything a sideshow, and it let us to have time to have a legit relationship without all kind of cameras and stuff.
All right, next.
All right, next one from Local Oreo over on Twitter. Question for Jason. If you're dead inside when you view sports, does that extend to your kids' sporting events?
No. That you want to see him light up? That's all he. Be truthful. People don't know about Jason. All he cares about is his kids.
And wife.
And his family.
Like, Lord.
Both together.
You get me in trouble.
Hey, listen, how
he's got enough trouble.
We said at the same table. She is a spark plug. I like her a lot. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I get really into it. I think I told this story before when AJ was playing baseball. There was 2 outs, and did I tell this? And there was like a pop up, and he took off running, and I'm yelling from the stands, "Get back!" And they're like, "There's 2 outs." I was like, "Never mind." So yeah, I've just been doing this too long. He's
very much alive inside for his family,
for the kids.
Man.
Next.
All right, guys. From Vista on YouTube, which one of you could pass an 8th grade proficiency test?
What would be on an 8th grade proficiency test? I mean, my son's in 7th grade. So
do you think you could do an 8th grade standard test now, like one of the ones we used to take?
Well, last time I helped Ava with her homework was, I think, 7th grade, and I did all right on that.
Yeah, Aaron has a tutor, so he does most of his homework either by himself or with the tutor.
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes help him, but with a lot of even in 7th grade with the math, I'm like, I got no idea.
I think I could.
I could pass, but not with a great grade.
I think here's what I think. Yeah. I really think as you get older, I think I wasn't paying attention a lot when I was younger.
No.
As you get older, I think there's a lot of things you come across and you become more wise, and then you're like, oh, I know that. Like,
but there's some of the math stuff that's like you don't use that in life.
Yeah,
I could do fractions and all these things, but
we got calculators now and Google.
But I can't do calculus.
You give me a Punnett square from biology, I think I still can do it.
The what?
The Punnett square, where
I have no idea what that is.
X and Y chromosomes and all that.
Yeah.
I think I can still do that.
I couldn't do that.
No.
Remember PEMDAS?
No idea what that is.
Is that order of operations?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
0. Maybe I would fail. I don't know.
Or the crab version when you multiply, you got to multiply that first. The first in
I don't even know if you guys speak in English. Right? Next,
guys. I know Ask the Show is a little laid back, but Director Steve back here is taking a phone call while directing.
Jeez.
I mean, maybe it was.
Excuse me.
Maybe it was important.
Next one from Twitter, from William. It says, "What did you guys want to be when you grew up? If it wasn't this."
An athlete.
Go ahead.
An athlete. That's easy. Athlete.
Yeah.
I was going to be an accountant. I wanted to be an accountant.
You wanted to be an accountant when you were a kid?
To be an accountant?
I was good at math. And I took one accounting class. God. I took one accounting class my freshman year. It's like, no, that ain't it.
Oh, them accounting classes in college, they be different. When they hit you with they be like, oh, yeah, you got to do your cash flows too. And you like, oh, what you mean cash flows too?
I would have been a horrible accountant. I'd be in prison.
Oh, 100%. 100%
when
money laundering.
You would be embezzling
He'd be involved with like the cartel, money laundering.
When they started putting people in jail for creative accounting, I said, what is this?
Have you seen Ozark?
They going to jail because of that?
You'd be the Jason Bateman character from Ozark. That would be you. When I was a young kid, obviously I wanted to be a professional baseball player.
Well, we all did, yeah.
But from the time when I was young, there was no sports talk. Like, it didn't even exist. Or at least I didn't know of it. So I would say from the time I was 7 years old, I wanted to be a baseball play-by-play guy. And I would play as a kid. I had like these board games of Stratomatic, or some people Pursue the Pennant, if you know that. And I would play these dice baseball games, and I would do the play-by-play.
Yeah.
While I did this was always the dream. even when I first got into the business, that's what I wanted to do, and I started with minor league baseball, and I ended up in sports talk instead. But there were times where I regret that I didn't stay with play-by-play because I love doing it.
In high school, it was freshman year of high school, I took an accounting class, so it was like, I'm doing this. And I just, like, I had horrible grades. Again, I had an ADD, but nobody knew what ADD was. Yeah. I had terrible grades in high school.
Yeah.
But I had A's in English. It was like the weirdest thing. I never tried. I said A's in English. And I was like, well, I'm decent at English. I know how to write. I love sports.
Yeah.
Let's give this a shot.
Yeah.
And then I walked in. The first game I ever covered was for a little weekly newspaper in North Ridgeville. I covered North Ridgeville football at Olmsted Falls. I walked in the press box and said, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I was 18 years old.
What year was that?
That was the fall of 94.
Man. I thought about becoming a gym teacher for a minute, but I would have been miserable.
I did want to be like a history teacher.
Yeah.
For a while.
My dad was a history teacher.
That's crazy. But then I was just like, man, I gotta go to school for all this. And I found out how much they got paid. I said, hell no, I ain't doing that. I can't.
It took me 7 years to graduate from regular college. I didn't need to do any more.
The wild one I really wanted to be a Blue Angels pilot. Like I wanted to be a pilot in the Navy.
That is wild.
I'm blind though. Like I wear contacts and glasses, and without them, I can't see anything.
So you got contacts and glasses at the same
time?
How
about Steve?
Yeah,
Steve, what did Steve want to be?
Probably a musician. Steve's a drummer.
He's a musician.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
He's a side musician.
I'd love to play guitar in a band, but I've been
being in a band would be cool, but I have no music.
Is it harder to play the guitar or the piano?
Probably guitar.
Probably.
I don't know.
I would say piano. Is it? I don't know anything about either.
I always wanted to play the drums.
Drums.
I thought that was cool. I've never taken a lesson.
Yeah.
I know how to do drums and guitar. I don't know if I could play the piano.
Yeah, my wife.
I can play Heart and Soul on the piano.
My wife plays the acoustic guitar, and I'm like, how do you?
She does?
Yeah, like she's Filipino. All they do is karaoke.
But that doesn't mean you can play a guitar.
She got like 10 brothers and sisters. All of them play karaoke.
Does she teach herself?
Jeez.
I said,
I taught myself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Tell yourself?
And I'm left-handed, so everything was backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's really
all right. Next one, Anthony.
All right. From Sam over on YouTube, what is everyone's plans for 2026? What big events are you guys looking forward to next year?
Like personally?
Yeah, just like what are you guys doing anything?
We don't think like that.
I don't know. I mean, I am having.
Are you going on vacation anyway?
Because I'm having my bariatric surgery, what's called the Roux-en-Y. Surgery I won't know the exact date of the surgery until the second week of January, but sometime in February, most likely, maybe early March, but hopefully in February, I'm going to have the surgery, which is going to be a massive change in my life.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I'll be off all my medications, eventually off my CPAP machine.
You will.
So, I got to do some work before then, but, that's what I don't know if I'm going anywhere. Because I don't want to, I got to pay out of pocket for the surgery because, of course, my insurance doesn't cover it.
Sheesh.
So that's going to be some of the vacation money's going to that this year. I'm very lucky to be able to afford.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say I'm lucky. I've worked my ass off to be able to
There you go.
To be able to afford to pay for this. A lot of people couldn't afford to pay for it. So
I think I got a backyard project I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Which I'm not looking forward to.
Jason, new course of steroids for your son.
Shut up.
Fresh. Dude.
Yeah, more youth sports. Now, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Anything
You went to Europe last year, right?
We went to Europe and the Caribbean last year.
Yeah.
So this year, we don't really have a vacation planned yet because of the sports seasons. They overlap so much.
Yeah.
We're trying to squeeze in something in June, possibly.
It's hard, yeah.
AJ starts driving in June. He gets his license in June.
Oh, man.
That'll be a big deal.
Man, that's great. You get in a car?
Of course. He's like, we're the constant course of conversation is, what am I getting? What am I getting? I'm like, whatever I buy you, that's what you're getting.
That's it.
It's got to not be nice.
It can't be nice.
Like,
it can't be nice on the first
you got to
car.
use the reverse. Listen, if you got to go by what you had and then hate, you got to be like, nah, bro. This is exactly what I had per capita, but it ain't gonna work.
So my
that way.
oldest, I went to just one of those little shop and rob places on the corner, and I was looking at like a Honda Civic. I was gonna get him a Honda Civic, and then I saw an Audi, and it was like what 16-year-old kid wouldn't want to drive an Audi? So I buy him this Audi, right? Mm-hmm. From the time I was over by the airport, from the time I got from there home, the check engine light came on. I couldn't get the door open,
bro.
And I was like, what have I done? And I drove it like right back there the next day, and the guy's like, I don't take them back. I'm like, you're taking this one back.
Yeah, right.
And I wound up buying the Civic instead.
The first car, I think it was the second car I ever owned. Or that it was the second car, the first car I ever bought myself.
Yeah.
You know, wasn't given. Was a Geo Metro.
Oh, yeah.
Which was it didn't even have power steering, which is crazy. But when I was at one point, right before I had to get rid of it, the car would not go in reverse. And I drove it for maybe a month without being able to go in reverse. Everywhere I parked, I had to make sure I could pull forward. And my driveway was like this. So I would pull forward into the driveway, and then the car would just roll out. I would let it roll out.
Bro.
You have no money, you do things like that.
Yeah, that's the reverse of License to Drive. Remember that movie? The car would only be in reverse, and he had to drive backwards to the hospital.
Great, yeah.
My first car I had was a Ford Taurus. It was a show model.
Oh, yeah. My first car was a 76 Ford Monarch.
94 Taurus, and I put tinted windows and a system in it.
I did the spray paint tint, and it was awful.
It was horrible.
So bad.
My favorite car when I was young was a 77 Caddy Coupe de Ville.
No, the Coupe de
Ville. That
Ville.
was a boat.
That boy was moving.
You could drive. It was like driving a tank.
Yeah. That boy, you hit something in that.
Yeah.
You gonna have to.
My first was an '83 Plymouth Horizon, little sky blue, looked like one of those little Escort hatchback things.
Yeah.
I'm weird. Sometimes I go back and just watch old games to see the commercials that played during old games.
Yeah.
Right.
And they'd be like these Mercury commercials,
some of them
and they'd be like,
wild.
"Yo."
Yeah.
My dad worked for Ford. We had a bunch of Cougars when I. That's so weird. We had Cougars all over the house.
Pause. My dad, he knew a lot of Cougars.
Now we understand why you are like you are.
You have no idea how many times I've been inside a Cougar.
All right.
On that note, Anthony, next.
For the record, my first car was an 04 Honda Element.
Look at that.
I don't even think they make them no more.
They don't. From Here We Go Brownies over on Twitter, what is your guys' favorite and least favorite thing about working on UCSS?
There's nothing I don't like.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, the hours are great.
Everything's great about it. We all get along well for the most part. The hours are great. The length of the show is great.
Yeah. Beats 5 hours in the afternoon, huh?
Sometimes it's frustrating, obviously, when fans get mad at you. I don't care if fans get mad at me. I get mad when fans get mad at me or say something I didn't really say, or they misconstrue something I say.
Yeah.
That can be frustrating, I guess. But doing this job is awesome. There's really nothing negative about it.
I think a lot of people don't be understanding. Like a lot of times, they misconstrue, or we have all these people that come on, everybody really gets along. It's not like, I think people say, hey, so tell me about all of these folks. Do you really argue back and forth? I say, bro, 9 times out of 10, we argue, we talk about what we talk about, and then we go right into a whole spiel about stuff that we want to talk about off the air right after the show. Mm-hmm. It's nothing like people. I think they think we fight each other with knives or something outside of this. But I like all of it, man.
That's not happening. Go ahead, next.
Best job I've ever had. G, this one's going to be specific for you. What's your favorite Pokemon? And then Bull, who do you think you could take in a fight? And does G think he could take Bull in a fight? That was the question.
So, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
I would. So my favorite Pokemon, it's weird a little bit. I don't like how there's different evolutions. I like a 3 evolution. So I like Pikachu, but I don't like the fact that he just goes to Raichu. I don't understand that. And I don't understand why Raichus don't be walking around like they just Pikachu walks around is very tame. My second one that I don't like is I don't like the fact that Meowth, the one can talk, but the rest of the Meowths can't. I don't understand that. I don't like that. But the best one for me is I of course like Charizard, because obviously he's Charizard, but I don't like the fact that he has a bad idea or attitude. And I don't like the fact that if you don't develop him right on Pokemon Game Boy, he will not come out of the Pokeball or go to sleep. Second of all, about taking bull, see, I'm not a really fighter, bro. Like, for me, I don't really want to, like, get involved. Like, I'm more of a Mason people. Like, I would just mace people, and they'd be like, bro, you can't, why you that mace? I would just mace people because.
Did you get into many fights as a kid?
No.
I got into a lot of fights as a kid. Like, I had
shocking. You're from Brooklyn. And your name is Adam the Bull.
That was just like, that was the deal. Like, growing up in New York, you had fights. Like, that was just
you just had to fight,
being a kid,
right?
Like, you would get it from junior high through my early 20s. I got into a lot of fights.
Really?
We had fights all the time growing up in Parma. By the way, like I got to I got to college and nobody else knew how to fight.
Yeah, I probably had 15 fights.
That's a lot.
And I won 14 of the 15.
Would they go to a scorecard or judges on that?
No, it was. Now, a lot of them were against guys that I was just. First of all, I wasn't that fat when I was in high school. I was a big kid. I'm strong naturally. Now I'm terrible shape. I would never want to have a fight now. I'd probably get my ass kicked by most people. I'm in terrible shape. But in those days, I was feisty. Yeah. I was my parents got divorced when I was in middle school. I was very angry. I was angry a lot, and it still carries to me a little bit. And I took it out like, if I felt like you were insulting me, I was ready to fight.
To go.
Like the old lady.
And a lot of the guys I fought were kids that had no business like fighting me. It was an easy fight. But funny enough, I beat up a couple kids that were bigger than me. But the one time I got my ass kicked, Tommy Santora, I still remember his name to this day. He was a friend of mine. And we had gotten into it during playing ball. I don't know what happened. But Tommy knew how to box.
Oh, man.
He was half my size. I couldn't get my hand. When I would fight as a kid, my goal, once I got you.
Oh, you was a grappler.
Then it was a wrap.
You was a grappler.
But I was a grappler, yes. He was like dancing around, jabbing. He beat the crap out of my face. I could not get my hands on him. But now I couldn't fight to save my life.
Hey,
probably.
I'd
get hurt throwing a punch.
Today, listen, people crazy. Like, there's no such thing as fighting.
No, it's too dangerous.
There's way too. Ain't no such.
There were no weapons involved.
I don't even talk to people more than I'm like, no. I'm just gonna. I'm more antisocial. I'm like, I'm gonna you take whatever you want, whatever you say, dog.
I think of every fight I had was with another white kid. I think it was.
I got my nose broke on the bus on a sucker punch. I was looking out the window.
Really?
Came across.
Oh, out of nowhere?
Well, no, I had been.
Oh, you'd been giving the guy a hard time.
You've been giving him a bit of his business.
Yeah, I'd given him the business, and I turned looked through the window and he came across.
There was this guy in my
school bus was like Rikers.
Oh my God! There was a guy in my friend group. I'll never forget. His name is Greg Cohen. He now is like somebody high ranking in like. City University basketball or sports, whatever. I think everybody in my friend group beat him up at one time or another. I saw him get beat up by a girl in high school. This girl kicked his ass. Like, that's how much. Anyway, that's it for Ask the Show for now. However, as soon as the show ends, we're going to do a bonus Ask the Show segment for another 10, 15 minutes. And you'll be able to watch it live, whether you're a member or not, tomorrow. Right, Anthony?
That is correct.
It'll be live. Not live tomorrow, but it'll be it'll be out tomorrow. We'll post it tomorrow. So we'll continue. If you asked a question and we haven't gotten to it yet, we will in the overtime segment, which will be available to everybody on Christmas Day. Go ahead, Anthony, to wrap things up.
All right, real quick, super chats. Bozzy wants you guys to do the 6-7 celebration as a Christmas present to Bozzy. I'm not going to make it.
6-7.
There you go. Merry Christmas, Bozzy.
That comes up in my house at least once a week with
God.
kids. It's to the point now where I'm doing it. It drives them crazy.
And now they're gonna have to run away from it.
My daughter,
once they get a hold of it, it's
my
not
daughter's
cool.
horrified. Ava's horrified.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her.
All right, guys. Next one also comes from Bozzy. This is to thank the cast for doing their best Judy impression whenever the ball touches his fingertips. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. So I was thanking you guys for doing it. Miss Bell says, Jason, get rid of all the quarterbacks and do with a new one. And then they also said, Bull, yesterday I asked if it was fair to judge Sanders on hearsay. You said they do that to others. I ask again, is it fair to any player?
How else can you judge a player that's never played before?
What's the hearsay?
I don't know.
I don't know. Moving on.
I'm not sure.
Brody says, G. Bush, you're wasting your time with these guys. Sweetie says, no one knew Mendoza until he transferred to an already proven Indiana. This is more first year starting. All rookies struggle in the NFL.
Did anybody know who Josh Allen was before you got drafted?
No. He was from Wyoming. I can't. And you look at his stats in Wyoming. Whoever pulled him up and was like, yeah, this guy's gonna be great. Shout out to that scout because his stats in Wyoming was not it, but he turned out to be a beast.
All right, guys, that's all the super chats for today. We got 30 seconds, so we're gonna go get ready to record the extra Ask the Show. So if you have questions still, we'll get to them, and it'll be posted tomorrow.
Have
a good holiday, everybody, and we'll see
have
everybody.
Have a nice holiday.
Merry Christmas. Watch party.
Watch party on Sunday.
Peace.